So,
He's just gonna meekly, like, kind of just back off.
We'll get back to you on that.
okay,
I walk
You're
up.
back.
I walk up and like, how much were you thinking? How much do you think?
I was thinking a cool 30 GPs. Yeah, does that work for you? Works for me.
Throw in some scones and you got a deal.
Some scones. What do you? We don't make scones here. I mean, we could get you some scones from like the Living Draught or something, but. And he's gonna contact the shopkeeper for the Living Draught because it's also a bakery. It's like the best place ever.
You think they make banana Nutella crepes?
I'm sure they make banana Nutella crepes. Well, they don't make banana Nutella crepes. They make fantasy banana Nutella crepes.
Go to IHOP.
There's not.
That's all of our characters.
There's not an IHOP. So Max now has 131 gold points.
Oh, I just stepped
Gold
in.
points. Gold
Gold
pieces. Yeah.
You
They're
do
like
point?
the Chuck E. Cheese tokens. You can go exchange them for prizes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're not entirely wrong, Dylan. Like, it's gonna happen. You're gonna get prizes for your gold, basically. You're standing in Winborn. It's just snowing a little bit. I'm just gonna kind of set the scene here. It's snowing a little bit. You just exited the college. People are slowly funneling out of the college itself with a little bit of diminished facial features from the
Some are
the
just
petrification. Yeah, their noses are just trimmed down a little.
It's like a sphinx.
Yeah, a little bit like that. Someone took a chisel to some of the people.
It's kind of a feel bad moment.
Yeah, elven ears are just dulled a little bit. It's very sad.
They're not elven ears anymore. They're just like human ears.
Yeah, they're kind of having an identity
And
crisis.
shaved off.
It's like, oh god, there is no plastic surgeon in any of the towns.
Well, we now know a business to open up.
But no, actually, you see an elf,
Magic face reconstruction.
like a very flamboyant-looking elf, kind of walks out, and as he walks out, he casts Alter Self, and changes his appearance back, basically, and makes himself look a little prettier. But you guys are standing at the front of the college, kind of facing a bakery, and what is that? The Living Draught. You don't have any scones yet.
What's the Living Draught? I don't know what that is.
Living Draught is a coffee shop and a bakery and a tavern,
Okay.
all in one, rolled up into one fun package.
So it's Starbucks.
It's Starbucks, fantasy Starbucks.
Where's the brewery?
That's it.
The tavern. But
There's no tavern in this shop.
man.
I mean-
You're telling me I have to go to the next town over.
Yeah, actually,
Drink?
yeah, actually, you do.
Aw.
You have to go to-
Likely story.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty funny in-game joke. Likely story of the bookshop. So you kind of make so you're not telling anyone what you're doing?
No.
Okay.
Everybody split up at this point.
So you just boogie away from the crowd, a bit like Godfrey did when he just got completely lost.
Yeah. Except I know exactly where I'm going.
Yeah, but you split apart, you make your way through the town, kind of past all of the shops and vendors that are actually appealing, and you make your way to this set of ruins, and it looks like it was a building that pretty much burned to the ground.
Should I make a history check on the building?
Yeah, you could. Or perception.
I'll do perception. Alright, a good old...
19.
Good old... Yeah.
That's pretty nice. So you can tell that it was basically the ruins of a laboratory of sorts. There's kind of a little bit of glass in with the broken bricks and everything, and you can see tables a little bit that could have, had sinks or things for making things, basically, and science.
It was like a brewery, I'm gonna say.
It was more of a laboratory for perceivably could have been shock rock or any other substance. Just research on something.
Are there any books strewn about, like anything that is somewhat salvageable?
I would say that there are a few paper scraps.
Or-
Let's say you find one.
Okay.
Okay. It's not a mimic, I promise.
Okay.
But on this sheet, you see kind of a diagram, and It says magic, poison, control, death, and life on it. And then a diagram of 5 different wands.
Okay.
And it kind of shows the assembly of these different ones as well. Sort of components.
like
But it's in a language you can't read.
Can I see anything else of value in this place?
You see kind of what looks like parts of one of those wands, but it's pretty much incomprehensible as to what it was. Really, it's very, very much broken, just kind of shards of metal. And it looks like this place has been cleaned up a little bit, but no one really took the time to finish the job.
All right.
And this isn't a very back alley part of the town, really. It's not, like, you
really
walked way in there to get to it.
Yeah. So I could see the processing plant from here, right? The shock.
Yeah,
plant.
presumably, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they're fairly similar in layout of buildings. I don't, because I'm gonna assume there are guards at the processing plant.
Yeah,
Regular.
let's say there's some guards.
Is there any other floors of this place that are somewhat stable?
The ruins?
Yeah.
No, it's pretty much like burnt to the ground. Like there's the one level and it's barely there.
I'm gonna take the book and leave.
It's basically just a scrap of paper, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him into a book
Okay.
because I have a notebook on me.
Oh,
Laminate
okay.
it just to make sure it doesn't.
Yeah, he's
fall
gonna
apart.
laminate it with like ghost essence.
Ectoplasm.
That does
Oh,
not sound-
that's real gross.
Yeah. Why did you say that? Don't say that. Alright. Yeah, I'm pretty much just gonna walk out of this place, walk back to the main. So
Okay.
I've got nothing else to do.
Also, I
Hi.
want to retcon
Oh,
something.
hello.
Hey. Hello.
I'm sorry that took so long. I didn't think it was gonna take that long.
I was just
Wow.
about to describe what you were doing, but now I don't have
Nice
to.
you finally show up.
Okay, so now you
I'm
guys
so
can go.
sorry.
Now you guys can go anywhere of the town. Basically the only thing we did is they kind of negotiated a little bit, or lack thereof, lack thereof, with Caldwell, and you each got 30 additional gold pieces.
We all looked
Oh.
to what is Max's character's
Okay, we're gonna
name?
get some
Azura.
stones.
We all looked to her, but like she just kind of stopped existing for a little bit. So.
Yeah, I was thinking about playing as your character, but like I didn't know what kind of accent you had, so I just kind of gave up.
Southern.
Grizz basically did all the work.
It's
Did
been.
all the talking.
But yeah, you each have an additional 30 gold pieces, and yeah, you're kind of in the middle of town. And I'm going to let you guys explore a little bit, and then we're going to kind of move into a little bit more of the story hooks and parts of that. So just letting you know.
Okay.
And now you can get to your shopping.
Can I go to the living draught?
Yes, you can go to the living draught. Inside, you see it's pretty busy, seeing as everybody just kind of exited the college, maybe still wants something to drink after the night of drinking. Let's say it's almost morning now, and that kind of combat thing that you did kind of was all night, really. What you did saving them was kind of all night. But at the counter, you can see an elf wearing black gloves and kind of a nice looking witch's hat, but it's not a traditional witch's hat, it's like a fancy witch's hat. And she is kind of operating the fantasy espresso machine and the fantasy beer making equipment and all that, and just serving people up quickly. And she's also got another elf working with her. Are you gonna get in line?
I feel bad for the people.
Yeah,
No,
we're
just
gonna
cut line.
get in line.
Cut
You're gonna get in line. So you're in a line of about 6 other people. Elf in front of you orders his drink. He's like, I'm gonna get the, could I get the,
No, those type of
I'm gonna
people,
get the,
The accent generator thing.
Christmas.
No, he's like sounding like a pilot.
He finally, after about a minute of deliberation, decides on getting the Red Dragon Stout, which is just like a form of mead. And all the other orders go without a hitch, and it's your turn, and now I'm gonna have to improvise drinks. Actually, no, you know what? Go ahead and order whatever you want, and we'll see if it's available.
Yeah. Did you guys get a invoice thing from Codwell by chance?
Oh, yes, we
Stones?
for all the scones, I believe he reserved
Yeah.
like 10 of them.
Sick.
So
Yeah,
I don't. Did he already paid for it? So I'll just bring him out.
Okay.
And she runs to the back real quick, and grabs basically this box. I guess they have cardboard. Well, no, it wouldn't be cardboard. It's a crate. It's like a nice little, a little wooden crate full of scones. He's like, is that all for you today, or are you gonna buy anything else?
What you got? What's your favorite thing here?
Personally, I am a big fan of the coffee that we serve here. I really enjoy. We have a good set of teas, but I defer to the bitter brew for the tea, for the teas in this town. It's better than what we have here, but we have some pretty good stuff, and our mead is pretty splendid as well.
Can I get a large coffee then?
Yeah, sure thing. Could you start working on that? What's his name? Dusky? And that curly-haired elf was evidently starting a shift and starts working on the coffee. And we'll have it ready for you in just a little bit. You can kind of stand to the side over there if you want.
Okay.
Thank you, Dylan, for that illustration.
How many stones were in there?
10. And they're a variety of different flavors as well. It seems they didn't really know what you wanted, so they kind of just gave you all the flavors. So Grizz, or Dare, is in the living draught. Max is standing at the entrance to the college, and Ghost is still at the little ruined area. So Max, let's go on to you. What are you doing?
I'm gonna go get a coffee as well, probably. Cause what time is it?
Let's say it's approaching about 10 o'clock a.m.
In the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, my character is definitely gonna go get coffee. I'm gonna go. The living draught is a coffee shop.
Yeah, coffee shop,
Okay.
tavern.
No one
I'm
slept.
gonna.
No one slept, and half of you don't even need it, so like...
I'm gonna head there and go get some coffee.
Yeah, I imagine you kind of need that. Okay, so you enter, and it's kind of quieted down a little bit. You see Grizz standing to the side, and he's received his coffee now. What are you going to order?
I'll probably just get a medium coffee with cream.
Okay, we'll have that out for you in just a second.
Alright, thank you.
And then she gets you your coffee, and you pay for it, and let's say each of those costs like, I don't know, three gold pieces? Okay, and Max, as you're making this exchange, you're passing her 3 gold pieces, and one of them kind of jumps out of your hand and takes a bite out of your finger. Take 1 point of damage.
Alright.
And it runs away.
Do I see that happen?
Yeah, you're close enough.
Can I try to make an attack at it with just like?
Yeah, go ahead and make an
grabbing it
attack
and
of
squeezing it?
Or like,
attack of opportunity, because it is actually running away.
Okay, I'll
just
do
try to
it.
throw
I'll
a
do it
front
for
knife at it.
strike.
Look at it with
Or
the...
can I use my claw? Can I try to claw it?
Yeah, sure.
Oh.
8.
Oh.
Go ahead and roll with advantage, though, remember? Because it's running
because-
away. Attack of opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, you slap that thing on the ground. Go ahead and roll damage on that, actually.
What did he get? Where did he roll?
A 21 he got. Okay, yeah, you obliterate that thing. It is very much dead.
Is it
Okay, after the
still there enough to see what it is, or did he just disintegrate it?
Kind of disintegrated it.
Oh,
And
man.
I want to illustrate this because he rolled a 7 and its HP is 1. So...
Lot.
You just slammed it.
Gone, reduced to atoms.
But yeah, Max, Azura, you're kind of standing there with 2 gold pieces just chilling in your hand, and everyone in the coffee shop is just a little surprised.
I'm kind of just like, what the fuck?
9-foot tall man trashes cafe just to find one little mimic.
The
It's like,
barista is skeptical of you now, thinking that it might have been a trap.
well, you really got that one. Okay. But you end up paying for your coffee without a hitch after that.
Hey, can I also give Azura a point of healing?
Sure. So you're back up to full HP now.
Back up. How much
Any
were
of you.
those? How much was that coffee?
$3. 3 gold pieces for each of you.
I'm going to be. Is the Firebrand a tavern?
The Firebrand is an armory slash basically smithy
I'm-
for making weapons and stuff.
I'm gonna poke around the Firebrand.
Okay, so you see an elven man in there, and he is working on a sword, and he's kind of really into it, doesn't really even notice you enter. Oh, you're both in there? Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so I'm going to pull up a quick table for you guys.
I'm going to do a small wave at the Lawrence.
Okay, this is the table for the armory, so you can buy anything that's in there.
Maybe I'm gonna take a book out of out of what's his face from Grizz's campaign and buy a trident.
Nice,
Oh,
nice.
Jaeger?
Okay, so this elven dude comes up to you, introduces himself as Maurice, and you ask him about the trident, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we have a pretty good selection, and I can have it ready for you by tomorrow, probably." He makes them to order, so.
Okay. Okay. I would just like a normal trident for.
All right, perfect. And we do suggest that you pay up front as well.
Sounds like a scam.
Okay.
Perfect.
And I'm going to hand him 5 gold pieces.
Perfect.
And no mimics are gonna jump out of my gold pieces.
No.
I'm also gonna buy some scale mail. Is the scale mail already ready, or is it also? To
He
order?
also is doing that to order, so he'll
Okay,
have that ready
so
for you at
I'll
some
just-
point.
I'll take the gold out of my inventory.
Is anybody going anywhere else?
So I bought the
I kind of wanna.
crossbow.
I want to take a look at
Okay,
that
just
magic.
mark that on your sheet then. You're taking a look at the magic shop?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I can use magic. I don't think so, but I might.
Yes, you will be able to. So I'm
yeah.
going to. You enter the magic shop, and it is honestly probably the coolest place you've been in besides the college. Its
nice.
shelves are glittering with magical items. There's clothes racks everywhere, and every piece of clothing kind of looks like it's shimmering. And as you enter, you are greeted by a tabby tabaxi, who waves at you and says, "Hello."
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the Mage Cloth.
Thank you.
I'm Peel, and I will be helping you find your magic items for today.
Sounds like Choose Goose from Adventure Time.
I go to the firebrand and get a bag of ball bearings.
Yes.
These be the normal cost, not the cheap or the expensive.
Just the normal.
No.
And I want to give you a little bit of a better description of Peel. He's a tabby tabaxi, which means he's basically just a cat.
So no one knows.
And he's wearing...
He's a duck
White?
and he's wearing blue clothes.
No.
Would he be orange and white because he's a tabby?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And he's wearing a tattered witch's hat that's black, and pink sequined pants, and a blue jacket with purple clouds on it.
Why? What is the mask of your own face?
Oh my god, that belt is expensive.
The mask of your own face. It's something.
Useless mask.
Yes, this person really is this person.
I like the necklaces.
The necklace of crossover episode. Yeah,
That's weird.
What?
the necklace of crossover episode.
None of y'all ever seen BoJack.
Crown of the False King. That'll make my character all
Where were you looking?
beefy as hell.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Edible hat.
So right now, Max, we're looking at the magic shop's items, and I take it Grizzly's in there by now, right? If you're looking at it.
Yeah, I walk past and see Ghost in there. I'm like, hey, what you looking at, bud?
Grizz, you should buy the Glutton's Fork.
No.
Yeah.
Also, Grizz.
You are literally the sin of gluttony. That is literally what you are.
Ouch. But Grizz, as you enter, you also notice a Persian tabaxi just kind of browsing the shelves.
Oh, okay.
And he looks very kind of grumpy, actually.
What happened to the dragon head I just took?
That's in your inventory now, I guess.
He's wearing it.
You could sell it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm
try
thinking,
selling
can I
it.
sell it?
Yeah.
All right.
Are you gonna try the magic shop, or what are you gonna try? Where are you gonna try and sell this bad boy?
You'd want to go to the black market or a pawn shop because I'm sure someone might recognize
Mhm.
Probably. Probably.
Personally, I'd recommend the magic shop.
Alright, I'll go to the magic shop.
Okay, so you enter with this thing on your back, I guess.
I guess.
Nobody noticed it on her way out.
But Max, I presume you're gonna take it up to the counter and attempt to barter with Peel.
Yeah.
Okay, so he looks at it. He's like, "Wow, I'm not gonna ask where you got this, but
No.
what are you willing to sell it for? How can I get my hands on this?"
I didn't think this far. How much should it sell for?
That's up to you.
Stealth,
Oh, can I?
go big or
How
go
about the
home.
belt of returning? Can I make a trade with you?
Depends. Really depends. What's the trade?
I've been eyeing the belt of returning.
Belt of returning. Forgot we had that. The belt of
then it
returning.
means it must not be that important to
That's
you.
one of our spendy items. But that dragon head, though.
He's slightly infatuated with the dragon head. He low-key wants to stick his dick in it.
Alright,
He sticks
go
his
ahead
dick
and
in
go
a
ahead
back-
and go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Persuasion check. Okay. I'll do that in D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
Can I try to assist her by being like, yo, that's the really expensive head there?
No, I don't think so.
Oh no, got a 6.
He does not seem quite as interested as before, and he says, I think it's a bit much for you to only offer up the dragon head for this magical, wondrous belt. If you could throw in something else to sweeten the pot, I would certainly consider it.
Okay.
Vest
Well-
of hate from Walking Dead, isn't it?
I don't have much else in my inventory. What if I add in?
Hey, wait, this is whatever.
Peel.
Hey, if I, this is a fork from the office of Codwell.
Oh, wow.
Would
Is it
that-
autographed?
No, but I'm pretty sure it has his saliva on it.
That's... Okay.
Okay.
Well then.
I add
My
that in,
God.
so you take it for the belt if you.
Was it called Will's office or just anyone's office?
I d- that was in one of the wizard's offices, I believe.
Um,
But he doesn't know that. He doesn't know that. So I guess that works for me. And he pulls out this sparkling belt and takes your 2 items, slaps them under the counter. Pleasure doing business with you.
You too.
Now lost the fancy fork. Can I also ask about the color of finding?
Collar of Finding. Yeah, yes, the Collar of Finding. It's quite nice. So you're
if I
gonna
got-
buy that?
If I get the color of finding and the Fletcher's mitt,
Mm-hmm.
would you do 50 for both?
All right, yeah, go ahead and roll persuasion. Those are both kind of expensive items.
Would you do 60?
I'll give it to you for 60. Yes, that works for me.
Okay.
And he hands you this collar. It's got a little star on it, and the other thing that you bought, which was, remind me of that again.
The collar and the Fletcher's mitt.
Yes. Okay. So, and it's just a little green glove, and yeah.
I would like to buy the crown of the false king.
Okay. Let me look at that real quick.
And
Just straight up buying
with- if Grizz is willing to help me
that.
with some persuasion, the Quill of Desire.
Quill of Desire. Okay. Yeah. Both of you go ahead and roll persuasion if you're working on this together from the get-go, I guess.
45 and 60.
So,
Yeah.
so what are you trying to? What's the deal here? Are you just buying it outright, or you're just trying for
I'm just
a
gonna
lower
go-
price?
Price drop.
Yeah, we could possibly work out a deal for these 2 items. Steve.
Natural fucking 20. Oh wait, no, that's performance. Fuck.
Why'd you
No.
roll
I missed-
performance? Persuasion. Let's see. A 9 for Grizz. Okay.
Why again?
Ah.
I think we're gonna have to stick with full price for both of those items, but I appreciate you boys.
Full price and then
How about we go for 100 and I tell everyone about your shop?
Oh, I do like that. All right, and he hands you the crown of the false king. There you go.
I'm gonna pay Grizz.
Oh, you're gonna give him a little bit of money.
Yeah, I'm going to pay him for lowering the price for me.
You try to give it to me and I just don't take it.
Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. Is anyone else willing to purchase something today? I guess
No,
all of
that-
you are in there
fun.
now.
I'm
Still browsing?
yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you all notice this Persian tabaxi kind of checking you all out, and it looks like he's making sure you're not taking anything you're not supposed to.
I'm gonna pull up my crate of scones.
Oh,
grab a
man.
scone and start eating it.
Roll to eat scones.
What would I roll that?
If you fail,
Add your
you drop
scone.
it.
You gotta add your scone modifier.
If you fail, you drop it.
Scone modifier.
23? Is that for your, your
I rolled a
scone?
natural 20 for
Your scone check.
performance check.
Good lord. Of course you did. I don't know how to resolve that,
I
but
wait at 20.
yeah, that's when you get your nat 20s when eating scones.
Yo, the Wabbajack.
Which
I
items did
might
you
go
guys
to
buy?
the normal market.
I
and buy a new
bought
scarf.
Quill of Desire and Crown of the False King.
But didn't you buy stuff, Cruz, or no?
Yeah, I got the color finding and the Fletcher's mid.
You should have gotten that.
I'm surprised you
fork.
didn't get the fork. Yeah.
Yeah, you should have gotten the fork. That would have helped your hunger.
That-
It would have been worth.
But is that it? Is everyone done buying at the Mage Cloth?
I'm gonna buy one more thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and buy the glutton's fork.
Oh, this is one of my favorites. You just buying this straight up? You're not gonna finagle with me on the price or any of it?
No, I'll just buy it. straight
Okay.
up.
So he gives
'Cause
you the
I feel a
glutton's
little
fork.
bad about the dragon head. And instead of putting the glutton's fork in my inventory, I head over to Insta,
Yeah, Darius. Or Dare.
and I go ahead and hand it to him. Thank you for helping me with the buying the belt of returning or trading for it, I guess.
What was the?
No problem. Thank you for the fork.
I'm sad none of you bought the incredibly useful mask of your own face. Like, come on.
No.
Peel was it?
Most
Peel.
useless thing ever.
I have a question about this. These mirrors here.
Yes.
Would there be any way to enchant them so they are one-way mirrors? You can only see through one, through the other.
Oh, well, that would be pretty simple. I'd probably just charge you a little extra.
How much extra
Oh,
do you
I-
think?
Let's go with 10 gold pieces.
Okay. Can I finagle with him as well?
Yes. So go ahead and roll persuasion.
For 20?
Yeah. And add your persuasion.
I'm not gonna win.
Oh, so you roll a 1.
You rolled a 1.
Great job. No, I think I'm gonna stick with little 10 extra gold pieces. But yeah, he takes it from behind and he kind of waves his hand over it and hands it to you. It's very simple for him. And so is everyone kind of done with what they're buying?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Good.
I offer the other tabaxi if he wants a scone.
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Okay.
Thanks
Have a good
though. And as you're kind of exiting the store, you bump into this third tabaxi, and he is kind of a gray tabby a little bit. And you bump into him and says, "Oh, finally, just the people I wanted to meet. I've got a request of you all. Come outside with me."
Okay.
Yeah?
Right.
Is everyone cool with
Yeah.
that? So
I'm a bit wary, but yeah.
he pulls you outside, like, kind of in a salesman-esque way. And he starts shaking your hands for, like, an abnormally long amount of time, kind of car salesman sort of thing.
Car salesman.
He
Car
does it for
salesman.
longer than, like, if he does it for longer than 10 seconds, I just start to squeeze a little harder.
Okay. Wow, you're strong in person too. Okay, anyways. I've heard about your saving of the college, and it was very brave, and it was very noble, and word travels fast, you know. And I've got a bit of a proposition for you all. It's a couple jobs, a couple contracts that I would love if you guys filled. The first one is I've got a friend in Lynn, and I say the term friend loosely because he owes me money. And I was wondering if you would be willing to go and retrieve that money for me.
Man, we're gonna be racketeers.
What? What does he owe you money for?
His
Like, is this man dangerous?
Well, here's the thing. Him and his group of friends run a little operation in Lynn, and I provided the seed money for his business. And he hasn't given it back, even though he's profitable now. And I kind of need that money. Now, you don't have to accept this job. I have another job for you that's probably a bit more important than my personal ventures. In Lynn, there's been a few disappearances in town, and it's enough to warrant some type of investigation. We don't have anyone to do that. All of these disappearances are impossible to explain, and with circumstances that make them, frankly, bone-chilling.
Could you elaborate more on the circumstances?
Well, houses that look completely abandoned other than bones and blood. It's pretty serious stuff. And it's making the town a dangerous place to live in, and we just
How clean
can't
are your bones?
have that. What?
How clean are your bones?
The bones are very clean. That's a strange thing to ask, but the bones are oddly clean, yes. And I would be willing to pay you handsomely for these services. And I mean, I make bank, so.
I make that.
Make scone.
I don't make scones, no.
I gotta go to a port town.
So y'all accepting, or depending on which offers?
I'm gonna
I'll
let them
accept.
do the
So-
talking.
So you're saying both of the jobs are in Lynn?
Both of the jobs are in Lynn, yes. The second one's a bit time sensitive. As soon as that one can be completed is great, because it's really just it's trouble for the people to worry about being murdered in their own town.
Yeah.
Fair.
Not as great as people have it in Winborn, so to speak.
Yeah.
I'd be
Oh,
willing
and
to look into these.
all right, great. And my name is Miles, by the way. Just Miles.
Someone write that down.
Miles.
Just
Write that down.
Miles.
I don't have notes. Someone write that down, please.
I got it.
Miles.
You got it,
Just
cool.
Miles.
Just Miles. Yeah.
I know
First name
anything.
was Just.
Have I heard anything about this? Besides
Oh yeah, me too.
them living in Lynn?
Yeah, actually, you have heard tales of disappearances, but it's always been more of a rumor than anything. Go ahead and roll a history check for me.
I'm gonna do the thing because I would.
Because you lived in Lynn too, right? Or just on the edge? of
Yeah, I
Lynn?
live at the lighthouse.
Right. Okay, perfect. Okay, well, neither of you really remember much. Yeah, I'm not really going to tell you much about that.
The day and a half that you spent away has been too long to remember anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm thinking about scone.
Could I ask for the name of the man you want us to get your money?
His name is Marco Tamir.
Would I-
And he and his crew are pretty easy to find in Lynn if you know where to look. I'll help you, don't worry.
Okay. Okay.
Would you be
Talking
coming
to
with us?
the would I know him?
Yeah,
Or of him?
I'd say you know of him. He basically runs a gang that steals from people.
Oh, okay. So I'd be fine getting his money.
Mm-hmm.
The Thieves
Trying
Guild.
to.
A thieves guild, basically, yeah. But yeah, you get in his carriage, and it's a lot less fancy than the one you arrived in Winborn on. It's just a normal carriage. And
Alright.
so you're making your way towards Lynn. Anything you want to talk about with your fellow compatriots, or bring up knowledge that you found out?
Hey, you guys know that Codwell's dad was also a monk?
I'm going. You know what? Is the guy still here?
Yeah, presumably you're all in the back of his carriage heading for Lynn.
Oh, we're leaving.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Like you did not
I was
not
gonna-
say that you didn't want to go.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should probably stick around, but I guess not. Because
wait,
I'm
how long
my
have we
orders.
been awake now?
Just halfway through the journey. Oh yeah, we should stay there.
How
no.
long have we been
it's
awake roughly?
Let's say, well, if you stayed up all night, that's a good
Yeah.
like 6+ hours or more.
Yeah, everyone will be.
Yeah, like a day and a half
From where?
even. So y'all are
Okay.
a little bit tired. You could possibly fall asleep in the carriage.
I don't need to sleep.
Right.
I
mean, not
will.
you.
Yeah, I'm gonna write shit down in my journal.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah.
sleep.
You're gonna
Yeah,
sleep.
I'm gonna attempt to sleep in the carriage. I'm gonna
Okay.
try.
He's trying to curl up into a ball, but he's just a mound of fluff.
We're gonna wake up with neck pains.
Yeah, do that.
Okay. Yeah, you arrive in Lynn. He says, "Hey, you're finally awake." No.
No.
Well, I
No,
mean,
but
we didn't know our names.
he does know your names,
Oh, he
but
does.
you don't know that. He's heard of you. But yeah, you arrive in Lynn. You guys kind of arrive at on the path there by a guard tower.
I'm going to assume I can see the lighthouse from the window of the carriage.
Yeah, it's pretty bright, and it glows with kind of a blue light, which is a little different, but.
I'm going to be a little bit perplexed by it, but I'm not going to mention anything.
So you guys arrive on the path, and you see a little watchtower, and there's obviously someone up in there, but you can't see. And you also pass by a little church as you're going through a forest that looks like it has been broken down and burned, and all sorts of bad things have happened to it.
How long was the travel?
Like the better part of a day, so you kind of arrive there at night.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Sleep
Nurse
just
said it was
past the time.
terrible.
Okay, so both of you kind of wake up as Miles is like, "We're here, boys." and
girl.
and girl, yes.
Girl.
And you make your way into town, and the first thing you see is an inn and a couple fisheries, and you can see the docks kind of in the distance, and that's on the other part of town. I don't know if you guys want to spend the night here first, or if you want to get right into the action, and depending on which job you want to do for me, we'll take a different course of action.
So would it be about what time? You said nighttime, like
Let's say it's about
late?
9 o'clock,
9?
so it's just starting to get dark.
Well, we both just slept. I don't know about them two, if they need to get sleep or not.
I don't think they really need to.
I just slept to pass the time, honestly.
No, I'm okay.
Yours are good? Okay.
Guess y'all are just gonna. Which job?
I'm kind of
I could help
thinking
with the
about the
intimidation, but I
one
think
that's more
there's.
important right now.
What's that,
Yeah.
Dylan?
Yeah.
I can help with the intimidation, but I want to hear his side of the story out
I
first.
say we.
Okay.
I say we do the disappearances, and we'll kind of.
The disappearances.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back and deal with
Yeah,
it.
we'll get.
Everybody cool with that?
Yeah, we'll get to the guide.
Okay. So you want to hear about the disappearances then? Okay, we're gonna have to get off of this point, and I'm going to show you where the most recent disappearance has occurred. And he brings you into this house that looks like it's been ransacked, and there's some coat hangers in kind of the entryway of the house. Oh, hello, Gris is my webcam. But in the entryway of the house, you see several coats hanging, and there's a red fluid dripping from all of the coats. And you see several bones strewn about in the front of the entryway and also kind of throughout the house. And you're in the living room now, and everything's
Safe to
kind of
assume that
overturned and broken.
Blood.
Yes. So it would be very safe to assume that that's blood. But yeah, this is the most recent occurrence that we could find of a disappearance, and the story seems pretty cut and dry. Someone died here.
Yeah. I'm
Can
going
I
to make an
Go
arcana-
ahead and roll investigation.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
gonna go ahead and
I'm-
leave you guys to it. I also wanted to show you this, and he points out a trail of blood that kind of starts leading into the forest outside of the house.
I'm gonna do an investigation.
All right.
I'm gonna
15.
roll.
Okay. Arcana. All right. So with a 15, you notice that for sure, these coats, basically the insides of them have just been painted in blood, the insides of the coats, and there is definitely signs of struggle all throughout the house. There's like chairs that have been overturned. There's even a kind of a candlestick that looks bent in a place as if someone had hit it against something,
Bonk.
and there's scratch marks on the doorway. The door was broken into,
Okay.
yeah. But Max, go ahead and do what you're gonna do real quick.
Oh, as I notice these things, I kind of just point them out to the others
Okay,
as I go
perfect.
along.
And with your Arcana check, of an 11, you don't notice a whole lot. There's not a whole lot of magical energy surrounding this place. You get the feeling like it could have been something magical, but wouldn't necessarily have to be.
Okay. Works for me.
Mm-hmm. And Miles is gone at this point as well. He kind of left you to it.
Since I didn't dig up any information on the magic of the room, I'm just not going to say anything.
Okay.
Can I just like walk around the whole place and do, like a general perception check of everything?
Yep.
Like the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Would we be able to tell that if there was two different types of blood, or like blood from
different
two different
blood of different
entities?
races? Or
Blood
like,
from two different entities.
there's enough blood that it would be plausible, yes.
Okay. Like if the
I
whatever
don't
broke in was
see-
wounded as well.
Hmm?
Like would we be able to tell if whatever broke in was wounded as well?
Maybe.
I'm going to make...
Yeah, you don't see anything, Grizz.
Yeah.
Basically, kind of the same stuff as Max scratches on the doorway. I mean, but she told you about that, so your roll doesn't affect it.
I was having trouble getting through the door.
All right, Dylan, you looked like you were gonna roll
Wait.
something over there.
Well, would that be possible?
What, to check?
Yeah, to check if.
Yeah, go ahead and roll investigation on the blood specifically, I guess.
While he's doing that,
Damn.
are there any other rooms of the house?
Yeah, there's 2 bathrooms and there's a bedroom as well.
I'm going to do a perception check of the bedroom.
Okay.
I don't see shit.
18.
Well, you do see some stuff. The covers of the bed have been pulled off, including just the mattress is kind of torn up a little bit, and there's definitely signs of struggle in here. What'd you get, Don?
Bonked my
18.
door. I
18?
bonked my shoulder on the door frame.
Okay, so for the blood, you're inspecting the blood on the coats, basically, and it's weird because the blood kind of looks like it's bonded with the coats. Like it's stuck there, but it's dripping from it at the same time. You don't notice any difference in you can't discern its blood type.
Okay.
This is blood type B.
Yes, this is O positive.
This is definitely O positive.
Takes a lick. Yes.
Yes, this tastes like HIV.
This person definitely had 8.
And now so do I.
Yeah.
Okay, doing anything else in the house?
Would we be able to learn stuff about the person who was attacked, like their type of lifestyle, why they might have been attacked?
Okay. I'll have you roll a separate investigation check to kind of determine like what they did. Maybe like their profession.
8.
8?
Person look like
Man.
Did you add your modifier too?
Yeah.
With an 8, you notice kind of some papers, I guess, and you know that the person filed papers some of the time.
Okay, so they have a filing cabinet of papers.
Yeah,
That's all.
that's about it.
Could I do a survival check to track whatever it was that attacked the house?
You do remember that Miles showed you that there was a trail leading into the forest of blood.
Well, yeah, but could I...
Yeah, you could
Okay.
roll an additional tracking to see if you can
Yeah.
notice anything else, I suppose.
I'm using the Hunter's Bane thing. I don't know.
Oh, you're gonna add your d6 to it, or
Uh,
or you? Oh,
Oh,
yeah, that's right. You
with-
have advantage on it, right?
yeah. Well. Alright, yeah, I'm taking the 17.
Yeah, go ahead and take that 17. So you notice that along with the trail of blood, there are heavy footprints that kind of sink into the mud, as well as almost like claw marks in the ground a little bit too, of someone kind of trying to hold on.
Alright. Can I tell what kind of footprint it is? If it's like a... Is it like living or dead?
It looks
Like,
human, but it's way too large of a footprint for it to be perceivably human.
Okay, so it's probably not a fiend, fae, or undead.
And it's muddy, so you can clearly see these footprints. They're kind of human-like.
Okay, I'm going to follow it out of just pure curiosity.
Okay. Sure.
Uh,
So you're heading into the forest, and the trail of blood continues like way away into the forest. Like it starts to thin out, but you can see it leading into the forest, kind of towards that ruined church.
All right.
And I don't know if you want to take anybody else with you, or if you're just gonna go alone, or what.
I kind of just didn't say anything, so I don't know if anybody else noticed me leave.
Roll a perception check.
Is anyone going to follow him, basically?
He's
Yeah,
following
I'll
the
follow
blood
him.
trail, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll follow as well.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Okay,
following
everyone just tag
the
along.
antisocial investigator. You're following Sherlock, basically. He's like, I found something. Bye.
Alright, we are Watson.
You're following
We're
that
three.
ghost child.
You like turn around, there's a puff of smoke. Where'd he go?
Poof.
But you're entering into this forest, and you notice that the blood does in fact lead up a hill onto this church, and
That's fantastic.
yeah, and it's leading into the entrance, like the side entrance of the church, not the main
All right.
entrances.
Can I do a perception check on any other entrances than that entrance?
Okay, go ahead and roll perception.
'Cause I don't see shit.
I'll do a perception check as well, because I'm kind of in the look around the area.
Okay,
Hey, that's pretty good.
Are we like right next to
nice.
the thing?
We're like walking up to it.
Yeah, you're walking up to it right now. It's kind of on a hill.
Okay, when we
Okay.
get like within 5 feet of the actual building itself, can I cast Divine Sense?
Yes, you can. I'm going to resolve the perception check real quick. So, about the
Okay, go
church, you can notice that it's kind of sinking into the mud of the hill, and it's been broken for a very, very long time. And also, when you look at the church, a kind of strange thing happens. It's like you're looking at a mirage almost, but only for a second do you notice. Your vision kind of blurs as you're looking at it, and you blink, and it's gone. That kind of effect that went over your vision for a second just goes away.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and mention that to the others, and then do an Arcana check.
I will do one as well, since
Okay.
she mentioned it. 13.
Okay. So, with a 13 and 11, you don't really notice anything out of the ordinary. You do notice that there's kind of a magic aura surrounding the place, but that's common with religious places, so you can't really discern a whole lot from that.
Alright.
I'm gonna.
Any celestial fiends or undead within 60 feet of where I am?
So,
There's two of them.
wait, that's what your spell does?
There's 2.
Yeah, Divine Sense.
Okay, so you notice 2 large auras next to you, obviously. And you're like, well, wait a
Yeah,
minute.
I saw them last time.
Right, okay.
You're confused by one of them,
Celestial fiends or demons?
Undead. Celestial fiends are undead, not demons.
Okay. So you notice 3 large auras kind of coming from the church. 3 separate auras. And
Hey.
now we are going to get into the surprise.
I've read many books. Could I do a history check on this building?
1 second, I'm going to resolve the attack on... What's his face? Okay, so does a 9 hit?
There's an attack.
Does a 9 hit on you, Dylan?
I don't know, does it?
Check your AC.
It probably doesn't. You're probably it's like
You're
14
probably
or-
totally fine.
AC.
Yeah.
Acrobatics?
No,
What?
armor class.
Oh,
You're good.
16.
16. So you dodge out of the way as the ferret hydra strikes the ground just
Motherfucker.
behind you.
Oh, those fuckers.
And let's roll some initiative.
Plus
I-
you.
God, my rolls are shit today.
Roll a 9.
Okay. 10, 9. What'd you get?
Nat 20.
20? Oh, Dylan got a 20.
Wait.
Okay, so he's
Do I
obviously...
need to add my things
Oh.
to it too?
Yeah,
So I got
plus 2. 22, 14, 9, and 10. We're going to see what Ferret Hydra gets. Okay, Ferret Hydra got a 17 plus. Let me look at what he adds.
Oh.
Can I do a quick perception check on the?
So 17 plus 3, he also rolls a 20.
Ooh. Ooh.
Actually,
Ooh.
So
Would?
we're going to start out with Godfrey. Lawrence, I mean.
Lawrence
So what do I do?
Godfrey.
before we start, can I do a quick perception check on the ferret hydra to see if it's damaged?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, if it's still damaged.
Yep.
All right, that doesn't help at all. Why? Oh, shit.
Jesus, man.
Ah.
Come on, roll 8, bud.
8. With that, you notice that, I guess the large chunk you took out of it is kind of filled in with,
Heal.
it's healed. Yeah, it's healed.
I'm gonna take a wild guess.
And let's say it looks a little angrier than before.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And now on to you,
I'm
Lawrence.
happy to see it as well.
You can attack, or whatever.
Yeah, I'll attack it with the my two-handed axe.
Okay, go ahead and roll for that, and add your relevant modifiers.
You know, I wished I had my trident and
Which
scale
one do I
mail.
roll? This?
What does it say? For what's your damage dice?
Ball bearings.
A D10.
Oh, go ahead and roll for armor class first. So roll a d20 and then your damage, and see if it hits.
18, and then this.
But don't you get a plus something? On your here, let me see your sheet real quick.
I don't know what I'm
Let me see
doing.
that sheet.
Was it 18 not hit?
Oh no.
No, it does. I'm just gonna show him. Okay, so for your attack bonus, so whenever you roll to hit AC, it's gonna be a d20 plus 4, and then for your damage, it's going to be great axe. It'd be 1d12 plus 6.
Also, there's the great sword fighting style or whatever.
Yeah, if you roll 1 or 2 on damage die, you make another.
So which one?
So 1d12. So that's the bit. Yeah, that one. And then do plus 2 to that.
So 12.
12 damage. Okay, so you take a big chunk out of this creature. Let me get my calculator out. Okay. And you did quite a bit of damage to him. And it's going to be, let's see, who rolled highest next? Probably the Ferret Hydra.
Try that thing.
Yeah. Ferret Hydra's going to go next. And since you just attacked it, it's going to go after you. Wow, it rolled a nat 1. And as it's going to strike you with 3 of its heads, instead of striking you, it goes bonk, 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 and hits all of its heads into the ground, taking a point of
The fucking
damage.
ostrich.
Taking a point of damage. It's pretty great,
It turns into a fucking ostrich.
basically.
Lawrence doesn't even have to move; just stands there and attacks next to him.
Okay, that's gonna be you, Azura.
Alright. I'm gonna. It's close to us, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's pretty dang close. I mean, it just
Alright.
attacked Lawrence, so.
I'm gonna go ahead and do a two-handed strike with my quarterstaff.
Okay.
So roll. I'm already. I roll hit DC, right? Or
Yes. 2 hits.
7,
Yep, definitely.
8.
Damage. 9.
Hey, nice.
So it is looking very hurt at this point. Its shell is kind of cracked again. And where are you aiming with this attack, really?
I would assume so. I just. Where's I aiming?
Yeah, where are you aiming?
I
on
was
the creature?
aiming. It's got like a head, kind of, right?
It's got multiple heads.
Like 7.
Lots and lots of heads.
Well,
You've got
doesn't it
plenty
have,
of
like,
options.
Well, didn't it have? Weren't the ferrets like kind of poking out? But it had
Yeah.
like a
It's got
main
a-
head.
No.
Sorta.
It's like
No.
it's like a beetle with the hydra of a ferret.
Oh.
There's multiple heads. There are no main head.
Hmm
Yeah, it's just multiple.
And also,
Alright, I'm just gonna
The
aim
shared
directly in the middle, just
An upside down
on the
octopus.
back. Just
okay.
bonk.
And Dylan, I'm gonna need to know where you aimed as well, because if you went for one of the heads, something happened.
If it went for one of the
If you went for one of the heads, yeah.
I went for the head that was poking out the most.
Okay. So, when you chop the head, like a Hydra does, splits into 2 more heads.
Don't give it more heads.
So, Ghost's turn.
Alright, I'm going to... Let's see. What we got? Alright. I'm going to... I can't remember if you shoot a Hydra in the head, it doesn't split because you didn't chop it off. So I'm going to give it a good old crossbow shot. I fucking miss. I'm going to bet.
Yeah, you miss. Yep.
Alright, my rolls are shit today.
7. He rolled.
Shoot yourself in the
Ugh,
Okay, that's gonna be you, Dare.
this is ass cheeks. Oh, I'm also gonna step back. Go.
That's a
I'm
free
not-
action. Okay, cool.
I'm just gonna glaive it.
Just gonna glaive it.
Just gonna glaive it.
Beat it right
Says
down the
looking
fucking
hurt. I'm not gonna try to.
Yep, that hits. Nice job. Okay, and where are you striking? There's so many good
You're
choices.
big and strong enough that you could just fucking bonk it hard enough and it'll crack its shell.
Yeah, I'll go for the shell.
Okay.
See if that does anything.
On the next skeleton, just give it a good old bonk.
Okay, so you basically split the shell. Like you're opening up a crab to eat it. The shell cracks open, and it's just kind of a ferret lump with multiple ferret heads sticking out of it now. The shell is fallen away, and it has little. It's just a ferret hydra now. There's no shell on it. You've de-shelled the ferret. But it's back to, I believe that would be Lawrence's turn.
Wait, how much damage did Grizz do?
10.
Did you roll damage? Okay, cool. I missed that.
So back to you, Lawrence.
Alright, I'll hit it again with my great axe.
Okay.
Which one I roll? I should just back to the D20.
Roll the d20.
11.
Plus 4.
It's 15.
You got it. And then your damage. Plus 2.
5.
5. Okay.
Dang, if I have only gotten one lower.
So, it is looking like just inches from death. It is going to take its turn and curl up into a ball. That's it.
Alright.
It accepted
And
its
it
fate.
starts purring, which is weird because it's, dying.
Am I next? I can't remember.
No, I think.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Alright. I'm gonna kill this.
Oh my god, no mercy.
I want
no
revenge,
mercy.
but okay.
Oh, I got a 9.
Yeah, no, it doesn't
That
hit.
hit.
Nope.
No.
Alright.
Never mind. I'm not gonna kill it.
I'm going to dash and lunge. Give it a good old... With a... Does a 14 hit?
Yes,
My
it
short
does.
sword?
Just barely, yes.
Hog. Okay.
2.
Fuck you, dice.
You take it out.
What?
You
And-
chop its remaining body, and it dies. And a weird thing happens to it when it dies. Kind of evaporates.
Good.
Oh.
Don't want that thing to exist anymore. I got my revenge.
Yes.
There's like a Trainoped's gonna come out, isn't it?
Trainopede died.
Yeah.
Train's
Oh,
dead.
it's dead?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Long
Yeah.
time ago. But yeah, now you're out of combat, and you can continue assessing the church.
We peeled it open at my college.
I don't want to go anywhere near that church after that thing came out.
That one time we peeled a centipede.
I'm going to breathe a very heavy sigh of relief and suggest we move forward.
Okay, do that.
we should move forward.
I don't want to run into any more of those.
Just hide behind. Dare.
Hey, just
Dare, you mentioned there were like 2-3 other large
Did he
beings.
know?
yeah. In the thing, there's like 3 things. They seem bad. I don't know exactly what they are, but they don't seem good.
Maybe we should just check it out.
Okay.
Is there a window anywhere?
There's several stained glass windows on the church, but they're all fairly broken. So there's a couple areas you can see inside, but you don't really notice a whole lot.
Didn't they roll the check to see if there are any other entrances?
Did you guys ever do that?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, well, I'm sorry
I
if
got
I never
9.
resolved it. Oh, there's a front entrance and a side entrance that you can see.
Okay.
So-
Maxed out. Then she checked.
Can I roll another perception check?
No, let's not be silly now. Unless you're perceiving something different, I'm not gonna let you spam it.
Oh man, it's the American court system.
Okay. I'm going to I'm gonna roll a stealth check and
Okay.
just peer through the side entrance.
Okay, give me 1 second.
I don't know
This
what I
is where my
rolled.
nerd
Oh,
can come in handy.
ooh.
You rolled good? Let me check.
All right.
Oh yeah, I'm not even gonna check and see what my stuff is. You are not seen by whatever.
All right.
So you're entering the church though from the side entrance, I presume.
Yeah, entering and kind of just like watching. So I'm gonna. Should I roll a perception check to see what's inside?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception
All
check
right.
upon entering the church.
All right. Oh, motherfucker.
I forgot about.
Which
Can we just go with my passive?
Passive
What do I see
perception. Sure, with a 13.
Yeah.
With your passive perception, you notice a very broken down church. Although on the inside, it's still pretty dang impressive. It's tall, and you can see the stained glass windows. While they're not pretty now, once upon a time, it must have been like a really, really nice, like a glorious looking church. And
Can I see the beings that Grizz was referring to?
you cannot.
I
not
mean,
with
they
a
seem
13.
to be fairly large.
You
Okay.
don't see anything in the church.
I forgot the whole reason
All
I
right,
got my
I'm
mirror was to
going
check
to-
around corners.
What did you? Oh, to check
I'm
around
go-
corners.
I'm going to kind of cling to the walls and just kind of move towards where Grizz saw the beings,
Okay.
but still
yeah.
stay at sight.
We'll just keep that stealth check then. You close in. Are you? The 3 beings were kind of in the center of the room. Are you approaching
Mhm.
that, or just staying on the sides of the walls?
I'm staying closer to the walls,
Okay.
just out of reach. If they
So,
end up seeing me
you
somehow.
still don't really see a whole lot. You notice, although there isn't a breeze in the room,
Whoa.
you can see some leaves and some
Hold on.
stuff.
Hold on. I can't hear you.
Can I be watching this, like him go through this with my mirror?
Yeah,
Just kinda
sure.
Sitting around the corner. And...
Yeah, we'll go with that. Basically, you get closer to the center of the room, and even though there isn't a breeze in the room, you can see some leaves kind of rustling around. That's about it.
So, I'm still a bit suspicious just because I saw the mirage thing for a split second, and I'm fairly certain that something is being hidden by a
That crown
mirage
is
now.
doing wonders for my confidence.
Right.
I'm trying to think of what I could do because I already did an Arcana check and the Perception check.
hmm Well, you're not in the church yet, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm outside.
I'm
Okay.
the
But
only one
I'm-
inside, I think.
I'm
Alright.
suspicious about it, so I don't really want to get closer until I understand. What I could do. I'll maybe turn towards Grizz and what's
Lawrence.
Lawrence, or Darius and Lawrence, and ask them if they notice anything suspicious. If you guys sense any sort of magic kind of covering stuff
Okay.
up.
I don't know. Do I?
Bro.
No.
No.
Through my mirror, can I do a perception check and just see what else is going on in the room?
Yeah, so you're just kind of tossing that mirror in there, and you hold on to the other one to
Well,
kind
what
of
I'm
see.
doing is like I'm holding it out through the doorway and looking through the other one.
Oh, okay, sure. Roll perception, and I won't have you roll stealth if you're going in, basically.
Man, I need to just stop trying to look at things. I got a 4.
Plus
Oh, you're right.
perception? No, nothing. Okay, well, with a 4,
All I can see is
you see the church, and you see ghosts screwing around.
Sneaking
Could I-
around.
Could I pass my mirror off to one of the other two and have them check?
Yeah, do it.
Pass it to Grizz real quick. Ask him if he can see anything.
No,
going
dude,
on.
ask him that.
Here, can you see anything that's going on in there? Look through this.
How do I look? How does this work?
You look through the mirror, and I'm holding the other one in the doorway so you can see into the church, but they can't see you through the mirror. It's kind of like a portal.
That's awesome. Okay, I look through
You
the
did a
thing.
percept.
Perceive.
Percept my
He's going to do a
Well-
percent.
12.
12 perception.
You go ahead and roll that with advantage because you did the identify celestial things earlier.
Same exact thing.
Wow! The advantage, but
That's
no
odd.
advantage. So, you're kind of checking in the same location as you saw those things, and you see a definitive swirling of air in those locations, kind of a windiness.
Yeah, I see some weird old wind over there. I don't know,
Could
Since-
it's
I,
the wind.
Okay.
could
I don't
use
know
the-
what they're doing. I can't really see what they're doing, but I'm going to do another Arcana check on what I saw before. You know,
Okay.
the rustling.
Sure.
So.
Ooh, a
8, all right,
19.
That's not bad.
Okay, so you notice that there's definitely kind of a magical something going on in the room, and you would assume that it's a spirit of some sort.
So it's undead, right?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to roll an intelligence check with advantage to get any intel on the spirits. Alright,
There's the one.
give me another one. All right, I'm going to go with the 10.
Okay.
Like what kind of spirit is it? Is it evil, angry, or is it just like a vibing spirit?
You know that it is an evil spirit created by struggle of the soul before it died.
Could I, as a undead creature, could I communicate with the spirit? And maybe, I don't know, maybe I don't know what kind of check would work with that. Charisma check, maybe?
Yeah. Let's do. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I'm going to take off the -2 since I have that, crown.
Right.
So, well, regardless, doesn't matter.
Dang.
But-
You are
5.
able to make contact with it, but it's kind of it's
I'm going to approach it friendly.
okay.
I'm not going to show any signs of aggression.
So as you approach it, you do feel as though a force has noticed you. Like you feel like something's watching you, and it's unnerving because you can't see the something watching you. And in your ear, you hear something say, "What are you doing here?"
Do we hear
Hello.
This or just-
Just him. He's the only one who can speak undead.
I'm
fair.
kind of. I'm looking for someone. They disappeared maybe, I don't know how long ago, but we went to their house and we followed a trail that led here. And are you this person?
Whoa.
Or
You were looking for us, and you're too late. It killed us, and we didn't even stand a chance.
That's sad.
I'm sorry. I know how it feels to be dead.
Yeah, it really sucks, and
Uh,
I can't speak for these other two. I don't know how nice they'll be. The circumstances of our death were brutal
well,
at best.
I we I want to like. Would it be okay if you told me what killed you?
I personally, I don't have a clue. It was human like is a loose term of describing it. It is tough to describe even now. It was like a a being taller than I have seen in a while. It's like your friend outside there, um, around 9 feet tall and with massive hands and a face that just, it didn't look like any face I had ever seen before. Its eyes were
Asian.
its eyes were pitted inwards like it had never seen sunlight before, and its teeth were like that of a shark. Its face was horrible. And I don't know what it was, but we didn't have any sort of chance against this, and it consumed us entirely.
I'm sorry that happened, and also I'm sorry I didn't mention my friends. I didn't want to spook you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, if you hadn't approached me like you had, we probably would have killed you. I can't promise for the others, but you're all right in my book as far as things go.
I'll tell them not to bother you guys. I'm sorry for the circumstances.
Okay. And I would also like to point out, it went into a tunnel in this room after it disposed of us, and I don't know where it could have gone.
Can I see the tunnel?
Yeah, and he
Okay.
kind of gestures into the center of the room, and you can see a tunnel with a little bit of blood in kind of the entrance to the tunnel, and just kind of leads directly down, and it's kind of dark in there.
I'm going to take a very cautious step back away from the tunnel, but
Okay.
I'm still going to continue communicating with the spirits.
All right. And also, at the beginning of the tunnel, you see a little kind of broken pillar.
Okay. Is it which way is it, like? Is it horizontal, vertical, or?
It's it's going straight up, but it's been broken, so it's a lot
Okay.
shorter and it's easier to not notice.
Okay. Anyways, we're gonna take care of this thing and put you three to rest.
Okay,
If that's
I only ask that you're extremely careful with this. I don't know if you can survive. I sincerely hope, because I don't know in what kind of state it put us in, but we are stuck here, and
okay.
we can't do anything about our circumstance.
I feel fairly confident in my friends outside. I think they can handle it, at least.
Okay. And yeah, you've successfully communed with the dead.
That went perfectly.
For some reason, I pictured, like, you faintly hear.
All right, I'm
Darius
going
like, Man, these
to.
guns are freaking fire.
Shut up, Chris. I'm going to. I'm gonna cautiously walk out the room to avoid alerting whatever is in that pit. So should I roll like a stealth check with like advantage, since I know it's there now?
There's nothing in the pit currently.
Oh, okay. So it's
It's
not.
watching you from the
Okay.
rafters.
All right. I'm going to bid my farewells to the spirits and go outside.
Okay. Well, goodbye. Good luck.
I'm gonna need it. All right. I leave out the door. See, what was who had the mirror again, or the
I'm
Very
part of
still
that
I
have
told
it.
currently.
one and Lawrence told me the other.
Yeah.
Lawrence? Lawrence, don't do that. Don't do that. It's kind of weird, man. I'm going to, I'm just gonna say, there, spirits that you saw, Darius, that they're all spirits of the missing people. Yeah. I only could communicate with one, but I am going to assume the other two were all right with me, but they didn't seem too cheerful with you guys. I told them you guys are all right, so they won't bother you, but just be wary not to annoy them, or else they'll be not pleased.
Is the stained glass window like too far up where I can peek over it?
Yeah, it's way too far up. It's
Yeah,
like
go
it was
around the
built so
corner.
the
Could I
sunlight could
climb
stream
on
through.
Could I climb on his shoulders to peer through? I already know what's inside.
If you want, I mean.
No,
Can I, like,
I'm not going
can
to.
Could I?
just peek around the corner and like wave at them?
You won't see them.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't even see them.
I didn't even see them. Wait, there's this pit that one of the spirit mentioned. It seems to be this creature's home. So they said what killed them was like a sort of creature like you, Dariesta, but much fiercer. It had.
Oh, it's not a bear.
No, it's not a bear. I
Not
and
bad,
I quote from what he said. It was sort of a creature with shark-like teeth and other sorts. Let's just say it was big and scary. So it's not home right now, from what I could tell, but it probably will be home soon.
And also, I want to point out that what you described as a pit is more of a tunnel, and it looks like it's leading in a forward direction.
Tunnel.
Yes. Not a pit.
I'm going to change what I said into a tunnel instead of a pit. Does anybody else have any input on what my character has said? Any questions?
Any role playing in the role playing game?
Yeah, any role play? So I'm not the only one talking?
That sounds freaking creepy.
Hey, Derek, can I get my mirror back?
I don't.
Oh yeah, here's yours.
I mean,
I put it back in my backpack.
this creature, it sounds terrifying, and I mean, we saw what it could do. How confident are we in our abilities to
I mean,
take whatever it is down?
I think we should, to, put these spirits to rest. But if you guys aren't feeling confident enough in yourselves, then it's fine.
Borrow the crown, and I will feel confident enough.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't give me confidence. It just gives me a little bit of a buff.
This crown makes me whole again.
I'm a little less afraid of you all.
Tinfoil.
Oh really? And I stand closer.
No. Don't
No.
do that. I like my personal space. Should we... DM, how long do you think it'll take for the creature to be here, if we have to, role play it out? Or...
The creature is probably not going to return to this location.
Okay.
I have a question, because I'm looking through my stuff, and I have the researcher background.
Okay.
Would I know where I could get information about it, or would I know any information about the creature he described?
Go ahead and roll a history check for me, because your background as researcher would make sense.
Know what it is.
Yeah.
So 17.
17 is pretty good. So you know about the disappearances, and this has been going on kind of since Lyhn was a city, but not to this extent. There's been disappearances before, and apparently there have been tales, and different people have had kind of spins on it. There's been a book or a couple books made, and they talk about a creature called the Wendigo of Lyhn. And
So
there's
it's a folklore
other
creature.
It's a folklore creature, essentially, yeah.
It's the descent creature.
All right. Then I should also know, or have an idea of what it is as well.
You have an
since I
idea, but
read
maybe
it.
you haven't connected the dots yet, necessarily, yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I'm Mr. Bookworm, so.
I'm gonna. Alright, I'm gonna approach everybody with this information because I've kind of connected the dots now, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Do that.
Do some role
think
playing in
how-
the role playing game.
So, have any of you heard of the Wendigo of Lyhn?
Oh, yeah, I've heard of it. I read about it a few times.
I've probably heard of it, maybe.
I mean, you are native to Lynn, right? I would assume
kinda
so.
Not native, but yeah, I've lived there for a bit.
I believe this is what we're dealing with, at least from what I've read and the research I've done on the city.
Can I do since I know that that it could be the creature, can I do a history check on the Wendigo of Lyhn specifically? And
Yep.
not just
Kind of focus your research. Oh, you were a
That's
7.
shit, man.
Yeah, that's not very good.
I should do a history check.
You know of the book, and you know that it's known for taking people
I
out of their
can't
homes.
remember the info at this moment.
Yeah. 404. Memory not found.
So, the book would have more information in it, right? Than what
I
we
mean,
know.
it's
I
just
know
a
where to
book
find
you've
it.
heard of.
I know where to find the book. That's just to say I know where to find it. Instead of that I was just stupid and I didn't remember it.
Sure.
I have a good buffs on
Alright.
history and investigation, but I don't know what to.
Yeah, because you lived in
investigate or
Windborn.
investigate. Yeah, I live north of here, so.
Are there any libraries in Lynn?
There is not a library in Lynn at the moment.
Would I maybe
Okay.
have the book
Dare-
potentially in my...
Dare, with a 14, you kind of know some of these rumors as well. Perhaps a house next to yours, since you lived in Lynn, has gone up for sale unexpectedly and suddenly, with all of its belongings inside of it still, and you didn't really pay it too much mind.
What could I do?
Sorry.
What were you saying, Max?
Would I have the book maybe in my archives, or no fellow like researcher, whoever who has a book?
I mean, it's really more of a folklore book than a research book, really. It's more of a story. It's not,
Okay.
no one's really quantized the information.
I wish I hadn't been shut out of the Celestial Library. I would be very handy right now.
The heck is the Celestial Library?
It's, how do I put this in simple terms? It's a library for the dead.
That's creepy.
But, like,
The court
gods
ruled he was
and
alive.
gods, some demigods, and other sorts of high, I don't know, like,
People that are high.
no, like,
God,
celestial creatures, yeah. Celestial creatures and other sorts would have access to.
That makes sense. Okay.
You've had access to the Celestial Library?
As a dead person, yes, I have.
She's jealous.
Yeah.
I seem kind of excited about that, just because I don't.
It's
And
really, it's good library. It's a big library. There's a lot of
dead.
But those late fees, though, man.
no, you have access to pretty much any book for free. It's just as long as you behave.
Yo,
What
it
did
makes
you
so much
do?
sense that you're dead now.
What did you do to get kicked
Okay.
out?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I wish I could remember, but I don't know. I think I'm going to
Oh, we
head
lost
into
one.
town. Oh, who?
We lost Grizz. Oh, there he is.
I'm going to go to a tavern and see if I can just listen out for any information.
Okay.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna order a drink, but like not drink it because I don't want to be rude.
Okay.
I'm gonna order a drink not to be rude, but I'm probably just not gonna drink it.
So the only tavern is in town, and it's called the Platinum Star. So let's see. So you're just leaving everybody?
I'm going to tell everyone. So I'm gonna
and that
I'm
one
gonna go to
apparently
a
too.
tavern and see if I can collect any information.
Okay, also, I was informed that on the map I made another tavern that I didn't put in my notes called the Beaten Path Inn and Tavern. Yep. Which would you rather go to?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Okay.
Is there one close to the docks?
I'm going to go to the Seabound Goblin.
Okay.
Because that's much closer to the docks, and that's where I would assume adventurers would gather.
Okay, it's a fairly packed little tavern, and there's some ruckus going on. Apparently there's a bar fight. And
fantastic.
There is a halfling just getting... He's actually kind of holding his own against this tiefling in an arm wrestle. In the middle of the tavern, they're kind of cheering him on. But there's a very tired-looking goblin manning the front of the bar.
I'm going to approach the goblin.
And she says, "Are you looking for anything to drink, or?"
Yeah. What's going on?
Looks like they're having an arm wrestle over there. I don't know.
I hear he's going to the tavern, and I'd definitely join.
You definitely join. Okay.
Grizz participates in arm wrestle.
I'm going for the food. What are you talking about?
And you notice the halfling won.
Oh, nice. Pog. I'm just gonna kind of have a seat at one of the tables.
All right.
Can I go up?
Any
can I go
table.
Up to the halfling and ask if he wants to arm wrestle?
Okay. Sure thing. Yeah, let's do one. Real quick.
I'm going to give Darius a thumbs up from across the tavern.
All right.
Yeah.
So this will be a strength contest. Okay.
Let's roll a strength check.
Yep.
This will look at the good. Oh, what?
No. Okay.
So bad.
Okay, it's pretty close, but you managed to get it over on this halfling, and you
Yes.
Oh, come on! I thought for sure I had you. You look big and strong, but I mean, I'm definitely stronger. I could take you. He's he's very aggressive, but also friendly. Aggressively friendly.
It's
Yeah.
competitive.
Yes, competitive.
Yeah, you can do it next time. I got lucky. That was pretty close.
Yes.
Not very prideful, are you, big man?
Good sportsmanship.
What?
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Who else would be here?
I stole that halfling line.
You're also heading back to the tavern, I take it, Max?
No, I was gonna ask, would I know anybody who might have information? Would I know anyone who lives in town?
Anyone who lives in Lynn at the moment. I would say
wait.
you'd probably know Marco in the gang, but he's privy to a bit of information just from being in this gang.
Oh,
He was here too.
I would probably know the bartender.
Yeah, I suppose you know the
was in Lynn
bartender.
At the time. I was also in Lynn at the time.
Yeah, that's Lena Bulwark, and
Okay.
she is the same goblin that was turned down by Dylan for the brew in Windborn.
Ooh. All right. Instead of how I greeted, I'm gonna be much more friendly
Okay.
with the bartender because I know this person. But that has already happened.
Yes, we're retcon. You were both friendly with each other.
Yes.
Okay. And you see a few other people there. You see kind of what looks like a collection of sorcerers. They kind of have their hoods up, and it seems like they're working on something in a corner of the bar. There was that arm wrestling match going on. There's still kind of going on. He's challenging other people. And
Dare's third rematch with him.
yeah. But that's about it. There's not a whole ton of people, but it's pretty packed.
I'm going to.
He won. Roll the 7. He won.
I'm going to, out of just pure curiosity, I'm gonna kind of just quietly approach these hooded people.
Okay.
I'm
alright.
just gonna be watching, just seeing what they're doing.
So go ahead and roll. Well, I guess they're pretty involved in their work. You can see they're writing on paper a little bit about various symbols, and you can.
Can I do a insight on what the symbols are?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, that's not the right one.
There you
Or history check.
go.
Or history check. I mean,
history
I'll
check, I
take
suppose,
it.
could work.
Yeah.
You don't really recognize
Nat
any
20.
of the symbols. It's
Even with a nat 20?
no. It's not that they're. It's not your not knowing. It's
Oh.
them because they're kind of fanatics.
Oh, okay. And they're
It's a
kind of in a
language barrier.
different sort of language, or what?
You just don't know what symbols they are because you've never seen them before.
All right. You know what?
But-
I'll go with that.
And
Can I
they
read
appear.
any,
you hear
any
one of
text?
them mention. There's no text. Well, there's a little bit.
Can I make heads or tails of what it says?
Yeah, it's just in common, and you can see a couple lines about something called the altar plane, and you can see stuff about reality checks and various other things that don't really make sense to you at the time, but you can hear them mentioning that type of thing as well, and how they are doubting the material world a little bit.
Are they?
So they think it's false
Could I-
information.
Can I assume that they're researching like the abyssal plane
You could intuit that, yeah.
or like the celestial library, even because they seem to be mages and fanatics?
Very possibly.
All right. I'm just gonna kind of hang around listening.
Okay.
If anybody else is doing something.
They bring up the Wendigo of Lyhn specifically as an example of things not being right with the world. And they're mentioning personal experiences of when things seemed either too good to be true or just too circumstantially bad to have happened to them specifically.
Like rolling a 4 on perception.
Exactly like rolling a 4 on perception, yeah. But yeah, it's a weird conversation that they're having.
Doubting.
So they're basically a bunch of DMs that live in the fake world.
Yeah.
Are they were they doubting the existence of the Wendigo, or are they doubting like? Could you repeat kind of what
they brought up the Wendigo as an example of why the
Okay.
world they're living in is altered or fake in some way.
Okay.
And with the 9, you don't really notice a whole lot there.
Yeah. That's why I didn't say anything. I was like, I didn't.
Yeah.
I was armor.
So, you and Dare are in the tavern, and so that would be Lawrence and Azura still at the church.
I'm thinking I might head
I want to head to the beaten path.
black.
Um,
I'm trying to think of where I could go to talk to people.
Yeah.
all
But
right.
maybe the shipyards.
Did they? Sorry to interrupt. Did they go into any detail of their experience with the Wendigo?
None of them have encountered it, no.
Okay.
They've heard of it.
I want to go to the beaten path.
Okay, you're going to the beaten path
Yeah.
in? Okay. So, you walk in, and it's not as busy as the other one, but there's a few people in there, and you see another goblin manning the front desk. Front desk, I say
I
like it's a
gotta-
hotel.
It's and tavern.
You gotta go?
I don't have to go particularly, but I will be right.
Oh, okay. But yeah, you see another goblin at the bar, and you see a couple people in there. Most notably, there's a kobold and, let's say, a tiefling and a couple other goblins.
What's a
It's like a little dragon person.
Okay. I go up to the goblin at the front and order a brew.
Yep, sounds great. Well, I'll get that started for you.
And then I go sit at a table by myself, but still near some people.
Okay. Sounds good. Roll perception, I guess. If you're trying to listen in.
Yeah. You gotta be shitting me. I got a 1.
A 1?
Roll.
No. You can add to it a little if you want, but
Add what?
I don't know.
0?
Perception, yeah, 0.
Yeah.
So you can kind of hear what they're talking about, but it's.
I can hear the fact that
yeah,
they're talking.
you can hear that they're
that's all.
talking.
Great. I should never roll perception.
So
It's
Azura,
never been good.
what are you up to?
I think I might head to the lumber yard. I want to go talk with some people who've been living here for a while.
Okay. Let's see. So that is. Looking at it now. I don't see the lumberyard on the thing.
It's
Oh, right there in
right
the
here.
middle of town. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see people kind of working on what appears to be parts for a boat, like sails and masts and kind of that sort of thing is what they're working on a little bit. And they don't really notice you kind of entering their workspace.
Okay. Would I know any of them, or kind of just know?
Let's say you know the main dude, Kane, and he is a Goliath.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and approach Kane and ask if I could speak with him.
Okay. He says, "Oh, hey, good to see you, Azura. What brings you around this area?"
I'm doing a bit of research into
Oh, yeah?
Lynn, and I was wondering if I could ask you a couple questions about a couple of folklores.
Yeah, sure, of
In the
course.
area.
I mean, yeah. Let me take a break here, boys. And so that's what he's working on down. Okay, go ahead and shoot.
I'm
All right,
waiting
thank
for.
you.
Sorry, I'm waiting for a message back from my teacher.
Okay.
But until then, I'm gonna continue with
Alright.
this.
Cool.
All right, what's going on? Can you fill me in?
Max is talking to a dude named Kane at a lumberyard that she knows, and she's asking him about stuff.
Okay. Did anything else happen?
Not really. Oh, Dylan walked into another tavern. I think you were there for that? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
What do you know about the Wendigo of Lyhn and sort of the folklore and stories surrounding?
Oh, that's a terrible story. I don't like that one. Basically, people just getting stolen from their houses by just this terrible creature. I mean, every book describes it differently, but yeah, it sounds pretty awful. Anything specific you're trying to know, or?
I want to know more about the creature, and I was just wondering if you knew anything about it.
I mean, one time I thought I saw it, but it was gone shortly thereafter. I saw a pale figure in an alleyway. I was trying to make my way back home, and I was a little drunk, so it could have been that at the time. But it shocked me. It was a little freaky.
Could you describe the figure?
Well, it was like taller than any other human I've seen, and pale, and didn't look like it was wearing anything either.
Definitely.
Does-
Hmm.
I
Naked monster map.
talking to the
Love to see it.
DM. Does that match the description of the what Ghost had described? That's the same creature, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. All right. Do you know anyone who might have personal experience with it, or would know more about it?
I wonder if this is a cliche. No one's ever come back from this
Yeah.
situation.
There's one person I know, but everyone kind of writes him off as crazy, really.
Who's that?
He's a good friend of mine. Gotta think of a name.
His name is Darius. Kinda crazy.
His name's Roland, and he lives just a couple blocks away from this tavern.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah, no
Pam.
problem. Stop by
Really
anytime.
appreciate it.
Apparently
And I,
have
um,
a cat sitting on my phone.
Okay. I'm gonna
We love to
go
see
ahead
it.
and make my way over to where he said Roland lived.
All right. So you come across this kind of shack-looking building, and yeah, it's not very big. Pretty nondescript shack.
Not too bad.
All right. Go ahead and knock on the door.
All right. As you knock on the door, you hear kind of a lot of rustling around, as if you woke someone up. And he opens the door, and it's kind of a wild-haired tiefling. And he looks pretty disheveled and not fully awake yet. He's like, "Oh, what do you want?"
Hi, sir. Are you Roland?
Yeah. Who wants to know?
I'm Zura Lozano.
Okay.
I live at the lighthouse.
Yeah, all right.
Kane over at the lumberyard told me that you might have some information on some research I'm conducting on the Wendigo of Lyhn.
And he gets kind of a shifty look in his eyes and, looks back and forth as if something would be watching. He's like, all right, come in.
Right. I'm head on in.
And he shows you in, gestures to like a tattered looking couch, fantasy couch, obviously. And
Of course.
he describes in detail an encounter he had. He said, I was just minding my own business in my own home, and the door flew off its hinges, and I hid. And what I saw is terrifying, and I don't know what it was. It's just this dude came into my house and started breaking everything. And he...
This dude.
Look at this dude.
Look at this dude.
Look at this dude.
But he started breaking things in my house, and he left blood behind. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's what happened, and no one would really believe me. But I think that's what's been causing the disturbances in this town, and it's kind of awful. And I managed to, get a sketch of it as I was hiding behind my couch. But, yeah, no one really believes me that I survived it, so...
Okay.
And he
While this is
pulls
happening,
out a sketch and shows
Sorry.
it. Go ahead.
Okay.
All right.
While this is happening, can I use my Quill of Desire to write down whatever is on these research notes these fanatics have?
Mm-hmm. So
In my
that would
notebook.
be the research notes from the ruined laboratory?
Yeah.
So it's magic, poison, control, death,
Oh
and
no,
life.
not the ruined laboratory. From the fanatics that have on the table, like whatever they're writing down,
So they were writing
Like
down
their-
stuff
their
about...
diagrams and other shit.
Okay, I can throw something together real quick.
I already have the research notes. They're plastered in my notebook, so. I already have
Okay. So basically, it was just a collection of random symbols, and they were bringing up examples about how this plane is being affected by a different plane, basically, and how what they're living in right now is either fake or it's being changed. I didn't have anything really specific written down about that, but
It's like
that
3
helps.
3 a.m.
Okay.
Starbucks.
And they brought up the Wendigo as a prime example.
Yeah, and okay. All right. I'm going to step away from them as I now have pretty much all of their research notes written down in
Yes.
my notebook,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of just leave the
Okay.
bar.
And you didn't drink any of the beer, or you did?
I didn't order any because.
Oh yeah, that's
I
right.
didn't
That's
say
right.
anything. She didn't ask. So I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna thank the bartender for housing me.
Yeah, it's nice seeing you, Ghost.
Yeah, nice seeing you too. I'm
Do I see
leaving.
Ghost leaving?
Yeah, you probably see
not.
him.
You're two probably wrapped up in your arm wrestling right
Oh
now.
yeah, it depends.
Once he won, I got sad.
Oh.
Oh yeah. All right.
Alright.
I mean, you could just be doing it out of sheer spite. Anyways, I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna wander. I think I'm gonna hold on. Where's the map again? That goddamn map. Fuck. All right, I'm gonna go to. Is this armory like any use? Like, is there?
No.
Ooh, you know
Yeah,
what?
it's
I'm gonna head
broken.
to the black market.
Okay.
If that's on limits or off.
No, you're good. I think it's off limits.
Yeah.
I only said it was off limits when Max was here in Windborn because I wanted you all to meet Peel together.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of browse the black market, see what's happening. Listen out for any information on the Wendigo, and just kind of look at all the shops. See what they're selling. Probably some highly illegal contraband, but you know.
Yep. I'm gonna send
It'd
you
be like
another link here. Actually.
Are you gonna give us
I go
access?
with him.
Okay.
You
I'll
leave
just
the
send this
tavern,
in main then.
Go with him.
I have my escort,
Pretty much.
my guard, if you will.
I'll order another beer.
I'm just kidding. Give me access.
You need access for that one too. I'm requesting access.
Oh, here, hold on. I'll send you the.
You don't need access to it, Max. You went there.
I know, but I might head there after I'm done talking to this dude.
Don't look at it.
So this should be
Talk to this
anyone
dude.
anyone with the link can view. I think I changed it, so
Alright.
use this link instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Alrighty. Oh god. All the text is fucked up on
The book.
So this is just kind of some of the stuff
book.
that you see.
is a book in a book.
Okay.
Oh, did you see the number 2, the book?
Will they
Cool.
look through that? I
By a toddler.
um
Can I open the link on my
I
iPad?
the sketch that Roland showed me, is it similar to the descriptions I've gotten over the Wendigo?
Yeah, pretty much. He kind of took some artistic liberty and kind of scribbled a little bit more than maybe was necessary, but yes.
Okay. And that's the entirety of your encounter with this creature?
Yeah, that's all that happened, and I had to fix my house.
You maybe
Police
did it
bells.
leave anything
Oh my god, the
behind?
loud call.
Like I said, it left a
An
bunch of
unstable weapon.
blood behind. but-
That was it?
Mhm.
Weapon is a powerful item, but has
Okay.
a 180 chance
Well,
of shattering
Thank
the
you,
random spell
Roland,
cast.
for
Yeah,
talking
no
about
problem.
that.
Yeah.
That is not
And
worth
I'm
it.
gonna go ahead and leave,
Not
and
too much.
I would probably try to catch up with the others at this point
Yeah.
Okay.
to
Head into the
them with my
black market.
information.
Okay, Dylan, you're
Um,
still in the other bar as well.
Well, I finished my drink and I decided to head up to the counter and sit at the counter.
Okay.
And I order another beer. I asked the person, so have you heard any rumors lately, specifically about a Wendigo of some sort?
I forget the goblin. Yes. I haven't heard any. I mean, a little bit. Yeah, people come and talk about it a little bit, but it's mainly the disappearances as of most recently that people are talking about a whole lot. It's like, it's kind of crazy. No one really wants to live here anymore.
Diamond Blade.
Okay. Is there any
Whoa,
information
hold on.
behind the disappearances, like reasons, maybe what the people were doing before they disappeared?
It seems like the disappearances have been fairly random, but it's been whole families at a time or just one person. One thing I did notice is it doesn't seem like it never really touched the house's outsides. I mean, the houses were basically ready to sell after the thing was through with them. And I believe Miles is conducting some sort of investigation. I don't know when he's coming through with that, but...
Do you know where he is at this moment?
Miles?
Yes.
I can't keep tabs on him.
You're a barkeep. You should know all the secrets of the town.
I know some. Only the people that come in here and are loud about their secrets.
Okay, well, thanks for the information. I chug my beer and wander off.
Nice.
I
Yep.
don't know where he's wandering to, but so am I at the black market with
Yes.
Darius?
And this is where a lot of the people are.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of stay quiet then. I'll tell them my research later then.
Yeah, that's probably not the best to share information at a black market.
Nah, that's what the taverns are for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But there's always the unintelligent individual that just blurts everything.
yeah. Okay, so you're all in the black market now, Dylan? You're there too?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You're all in the black market now, and you see a bunch of people milling about, and there are various tents and carriages and kind of vendors that are selling their supplies. You see creatures in cages, even you see magic kind of emanating from random places, and there's a lot of commotion going on, and
There's a lot of items here. Holy shit.
yeah. And I didn't put prices on these because you're gonna have to bargain for them.
Okay.
If you
I
want
don't really
them.
have much to bargain,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
And yeah, it's a strange place. Oh, were you looking at the prankster's gold then, or the portable peephole?
Portable people. That's all that.
Fashioned like a circle of steel. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So you come across there's a halfling kind of selling this thing, and he advertises it in kind of an infomercial type fashion. And he's kind of looking for something of equal value.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Hello, nice to meet you as well.
This is really cool. It'd be cool to have. I have this collar I'm wearing actually,
Ooh.
which lets you, what was it called again? Collar of what?
Guiding light, I think, or something.
Something like that. Yeah, sure. Collar of guiding light. It lets you have a light orb floating above your head, anywhere from like head height to 50 feet above you. It's called the collar of collar of blinding light, whatever.
Very interesting, and you're assuming that this would be the same worth as what I have here.
I think it's very useful.
Alright, roll persuasion. Alright.
24.
Yeah, let's do it. I need some light in my life. So,
thank you.
you trade for the portable people.
Sick.
And is everyone else leaving to go to the lighthouse now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So,
Okay.
you spend the night at the lighthouse, and everything goes well, except during the middle of the night, you hear kind of a unearthly roaring coming from just a little ways from the lighthouse. And you hear it once during the night, and it kind of wakes all of you up.
Oh,
I mean-
shit, here we go again.
I'm not particularly surprised.
Yeah.
I'm going to. How high up in the lighthouse are we? Are we at like what floor?
Max,
Are we on like the ground floor?
depends on where you want it, Max. It's kind of your fiction on this one.
Oh, I haven't thought this far through. Probably the ground floor. Yeah, that's probably like the living quarters, and then further up is my archives.
Okay, perfect.
It's the lighthouse from the movie The Lighthouse.
Alright.
The one with the lighthouse in it.
I'm going to peer out the windows for any sort of movement.
You don't see. Go ahead and just roll perception.
Alrighty. 13.
13. So you don't really notice a whole lot, but from whoops, let me get over to that. From the lighthouse, you can kind of see the mountain, which is rather close to it, and you see the boat that's wrecked into the rocks next to it, and you can see the forest as well.
If there's a wrecked ship by a lighthouse, obviously it didn't do its job.
Didn't do its job properly, no.
Max owns it, right? Max owns it, right?
Yeah, Max owns the lighthouse.
Max, you're a bad lighthouse keeper.
Apparently.
I don't really know what to do with that information just because I don't see anything.
Mm-hmm. Max, you'd probably also know that the lighthouse's light itself is powered by shock rock, and that's why it takes on that blue appearance on the top.
All right.
Yeah, but you could kind of tell where the roar was coming from the forest to the left of that lighthouse, or kind of down from the lighthouse.
Would I know about, are those ruins in the forest?
Mm-hmm. But you can't really see it.
Okay.
And your character doesn't know about it.
Could we hear if it was coming from the ruins?
It was coming from that area, yes, but none of you know about the ruins' existence.
Oh, other than Max.
Not a good Max. It's just on the map.
I live there, but it's like, nope, don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I've never explored.
It's almost like you can't see them from the top of the lighthouse.
I suggest we hold out here for the night.
We did.
It's daytime now?
Well, I guess it is the middle of the night still. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. We should hold out here for the night and then go check it out in the morning, just so we can't get ambushed.
I agree with that.
Sounds good. So you all go back to sleep, and you don't really hear anything else.
I'm just gonna keep an eye out on the windows.
Are you gonna just keep an eye out?
Just gonna wander the ground floor house and just kind
of. You're gonna haunt this place.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Okay.
I don't need to sleep, so what's the point?
Yeah,
Sleeping passes the time. That's why I do it.
Yeah. So it's morning.
Yeah, but I'm way too on edge with this thing now.
It's morning, and you're all in the lighthouse, and it was pretty cozy and pretty nice. Yeah.
You can see me shaking in the corner, just like, what the fuck was that?
Jumping at every small noise, you're just getting more and more paranoid.
Yep. The paranoia is setting in.
Shall we go investigate the noise we heard in the middle of the night?
I mean, yeah, that would probably be best because it might be that Wendigo thing. I don't know how much information everyone gathered while we were out.
I don't want to retell them, but I just mentioned the stories I was told by Kane and Roland, I think was the name.
Roland, yep.
I run through the stories and.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So you all have a kind of baseline knowledge of what Max was talking about with that dude?
Mm-hmm. I had pretty much similar to what Max had before, and now I have even more now.
Cool.
I don't even remember what information I got. I don't think I got anything.
Not really.
The barkeep wasn't very useful.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna open my notebook to the group and just let them read what I found on some experiences from the fanatics. So, DM, if you want to share the experiences.
It's basically a bunch of symbols on paper, and he's written down lots of stuff about the altar plane, which they say is influencing the plane that you guys are on now, which is, the material plane. And they don't believe that they're either in the wrong universe or things are being altered, but they believe that things are not right with the world, and they're making symbols to describe these kind of occurrences, and the Wendigo is a prime example of that.
I saw a few fanatics just in the tavern just writing shit down, so I just wrote it all down here. This is pretty much all I wrote.
Mm-hmm.
And the symbols aren't familiar at all to any of us?
No,
Yeah,
they're just kind of
odd.
them.
What was that, Ethan?
They're just kind of odd, yeah.
Okay. I'll probably write those down in my own journal.
The symbols aren't probably very useful, but I think I don't know if what they're saying is completely bogus, but I kind of believe it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just based off of the experiences we've had recently.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'll write down the symbols in my journal, just like a rough sketch of them on a page.
Okay, perfect.
Just in case they are useful.
Make a writing check.
Are you literate? Let's see.
Probably head down to the noise we heard in the night.
Yeah, we're gonna wander into the forest.
All right.
Okay.
As you enter the forest, you guys see a tree fall over, and it's basically a pine tree, and it looks like it's felled like cleanly at the stump, and it just falls over. And the strange thing about it, it falls without sound.
Yo!
And it just hits the ground and still doesn't make a sound. And in its place, you can see the sunlight kind of illuminates this shadow. And there's no one there, just a shadow across the ground. And then it's gone.
Now we know the answer to the joke, at least.
What's that?
Now we know the answer to the joke, at least.
What joke?
If a tree falls when no one's around, does it make a sound?
But yeah, you guys probably continue into the forest, yeah?
I'm gonna do a Arcana check on whatever that was real quick.
Okay.
Okay, I got a 2. I didn't.
Yeah. Nope.
I'm gonna do an Arcana check because.
Can I do Divine Sense?
Never mind.
Okay.
Wait, no, I thought that was a 1.
Don't you have advantage with Arcana still, or?
Yes. But I didn't know if we were still including my Arcana advantages.
Yeah, you get to keep 2 of your advantages, remember?
Oh, okay. Okay.
I thought you chose Investigation and Arcana? I don't remember which ones you chose, but...
Wait. How do you know if you have advantage on things?
You don't.
It's literally a...
It's just a racial feature. He's got paper. He's old school.
Oh, he's on paper.
I mean, we have paper too.
I mean,
you don't.
Yeah, you know what? I might as well keep
You know?
I'll keep advantage on Arcana.
It does have an A on it, but yeah, you don't.
Oh, okay.
All right,
So
you know what?
17.
That's much better.
So, you know that someone used a very powerful spell in order to make that tree not make any sound and to basically vanish.
Okay.
What was it?
Useful information
In the first place.
Oh yeah, you can do
Alright.
Divine Sense as well, Grizz. Sorry. And that's to notice any celestial beings or demons, right?
Undead.
Celestial,
Oh, undead. You don't. You don't see any.
Oh, other than the 2 of us.
Yeah, other than the 2 of you.
Just gotta make sure you know about that. Gotta keep that reiterating that.
Yes.
But anyways, I think we should probably just keep moving forward.
Okay. Perfect.
Just to
So-
speed this along.
Yeah. As you make your way into the forest, you see a set of ruins that look like kind of a broken down castle, but I mean it's hard to tell that it was once a castle because it's very much broken. And you can hear some noises going on inside from the castle, and it's like something big is moving around in it. You're rolling a perception check. 23.
Wow.
So, wow, okay. With a nat 20, you... So, you see that same effect that you saw when looking at the church, that distortion in your vision, but this time you don't blink, and you see through the church. And you see through whatever was in there, and it's like nothing is there, and then you blink, and it's back. And you also can hear very clearly heavy footfalls and sounds of a struggle going on inside.
So like it was just distorted.
Yeah, it
when
was
I saw
distorted. It
or-
was like it phased out and then phased back into reality.
Oh, I see. Okay, I get what you're getting.
Could
Okay,
I
I'm-
see that as
I'm
well?
gonna share that with
Or was it-
them.
It's like, hey guys,
Could I see that as well?
Hey, there's a bit of.
you have to roll perception. No, it basically
Alrighty.
she only saw it.
All right, I rolled a 15.
You notice that same type of effect, but it doesn't happen for as long or as clear for you.
Okay.
And you know that there's this struggle going on, but you don't hear it with
I
as
can
much
see
clarity.
All right. I'm going to keep that whole thing in mind. And what were you gonna say, Max? I don't remember. If you.
I just mentioned the mirage thing and then the struggle and should we
Okay.
intervene? Do you think something is hiding?
Yeah, probably we should. I mean, it wouldn't be the safest, but I think we should.
I could use my mirrors to check around corners and stuff.
Okay.
Alright.
Oh yeah.
Or
Here,
should
I'm gonna roll stealth to get closer, but
Me too.
I'm also. Were you offering what was your name again? God,
Lawrence.
Lawrence. Yes. Were you offering the mirror?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the mirror and then sneak on in.
Yeah, you're
I'm gonna
hella
head in with-
stealthy.
14.
Okay, let's see.
I got a 19 plus 5.
Oh shit.
Which is, that's intense.
I'm gonna go ahead and sneak into see what's happening.
I'm gonna kind of
Yeah, you're not noticed.
Close.
So you kind of
Alright.
entered the
Am I
ruins.
noticed?
No, neither of you are noticed.
Okay.
So
walk
I'm
up
gonna
to, like,
kind of
the-
hold up the mirror around the corner as I'm much closer now,
mhm.
and kind of gesture to Lawrence that I put the mirror in position.
Okay. So which of you has the other mirror then?
I guess I have the one that can see through.
Okay. So you look through and you see a pretty grisly scene. A elf is fighting with what looks to be the Wendigo of Lyhn, this pale, tall creature with claws and what appears to be bone armor all over its body. And it's kind of bound together with blood and guts, and it's just very gross. And its eyes are very pitted, and its mouth is, shark-like, and it's attempting to bite into this elf, and it succeeds, and it breaks his neck.
Okay. I was gonna try and do something before that happened.
Yeah.
I was gonna try and distract the Wendigo with like a shot from a crossbow. I was
We're
gonna
just
shoot,
a little
like,
too late.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot a wall that is furthest away from me, but near to the Wendigo,
Okay.
so that it directs its attention.
All right.
I don't think I'll need a roll to hit.
No, if you're just shooting at a random wall. So what are you casting again?
I'm just shooting my crossbow, just
Oh, perfect.
literally across the way at a wall.
Okay.
That could've hit
You
the broadside of a barn.
so in a kind of a freaky way, its head snaps, and I mean literally snaps around like 360 degrees to look at the arrow.
180.
Yeah, 180 degrees. Yes, thank you. Otherwise, it would be 180 degrees to look at the arrow that hit the wall, and it sounds like its neck broke, but it's definitely just looking at that very intently.
It sounded like the neck cracking repeatedly.
Yeah.
Alright. No.
That's crunchy. All right. I'm going to. I wonder if I can do anything.
And it's still holding on to the elf as well.
So Max and Ghost are up close looking at it and holding a mirror up.
Yeah.
And me and Grizz
Yeah,
are
you
looking
could.
through the
You
mirror.
can clearly see it
Yeah.
through the mirror as well. I have the mirror positioned right at it.
Yeah. And as you guys are debating what
So,
to do, it
both
takes a
you and
big bite
Greg
out of
can
the
see.
elf.
Oh, the elves are dead.
Oh no. Poor elf. Right,
I'm going to kind of sneak back around the wall
Okay.
to just completely hide myself. because I was still slightly visible, but I guess it missed me.
So
You know, I had to aim around the corner to shoot the crossbow.
You rolled too low on perception.
So you're just creeping just a little bit closer?
I'm further behind this wall now. I'm completely behind it, so I can't.
Oh,
see
okay,
it.
perfect. Okay. Sure thing.
I am gonna kind of turn around and look at the others like, what the hell do we do?
Yeah, I gesture
I don't
for
wanna
you guys
attack
to come
first.
back so that we can...
I'm gonna just gesture with like just a big cross, like an X, with my arms. Just do not engage.
I gesture for you guys to come back so that we can discuss a plan.
Okay.
Alright, I'm guessing we'll have to make stealth checks to get away. Oh, God.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and roll a stealth check, yeah. Yeah, you're good.
Alright.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, you both are very stealthy.
We should do this more.
I mean, as a ghost, I'm pretty lightweight.
I mean, I'm a monk. I need my dexterity.
Yeah.
But
And as you're walking away, you hear kind of a horrible crunch of bone.
oh no.
It's either eating or adding to its armor collection.
I am visibly distressed by it.
Yeah, I bet.
Me too.
Because another person has entered the spirit world.
Yeah.
So what do you think
I'm
our
just-
course of action should be?
What do we do?
While we're talking, I kind of pull out my journal and take notes on what I just saw.
Well, the mirror is
You're
still
gonna write
propped up
notes
looking
now
at it,
while
isn't
it still probably could hear us. And if it comes our direction, oh, we're dead.
The mirror
Don't
is still
worry
propped
about it.
up looking at it, right?
No, we're back with you guys.
Oh, okay.
I also hand you the mirror piece.
Thank you.
Well, we all have seen the Wendigo.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't want to see it again. Guys, that was...
we do have to take it down at some point.
Yeah.
I promise those spirits.
We could attempt to trap it, maybe.
I mean, we could trap it. Do we have anything that could be of use to trapping?
I do not know.
Did you guys see anything in the black market that might have been useful?
No. Not that I remember. I could...
Alright, also, while you guys are talking, you can hear that it's heading towards you. It's heading in your direction to kind of exit the ruins.
Fucking knew it. Alright.
I think we're gonna have to attack.
I'm going to very quickly just hide somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll all dive out of the way.
Yeah, I'm going to like pull someone, anyone who's closest to me, and just pull them towards me and hide.
Okay.
Is everyone
saying?
30 feet from me?
I would say you're pretty close to everybody else, right?
I
Within
think
30 feet, yeah.
Yeah, we're probably in like a little group, a cluster, because I'd imagine we're whispering this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
ASMR.
I cast Bless on the other three.
Okay. What does Bless do, pray tell?
When a target makes an attack roll or a saving throw for the spell, adds number rolled. The attack roll or saving throw.
So they add a d4 to a saving throws?
Yeah.
Okay.
Attack rolls and saving throws add a d4.
Okay.
And
Nice.
while he's doing that, I'm also gonna do. I'm going to do Crimson Right and imbue my weapon with 1d4 extra damage.
All right.
So,
Very cool.
but I also have to take a 1d4 damage.
All right.
So
I don't
Go ahead
have
and do
anything
that.
special.
okay.
Lawrence strikes a pose.
Yeah, I don't have anything
Jojo
special
pose.
either.
All right. Did you roll the 1d4 or do I have to?
Oh yeah, you go ahead and do that. Well, I suppose I could roll it. Yeah, that would make
Yeah,
more
I don't
sense.
have my dice roll out.
Okay, you take 3 points of damage.
All right.
So we brandish our weapons, but we stay hidden, right?
Yes,
Yes.
that's what I'm assuming is you're all going to try and stealthify. Go ahead and roll stealth
Yeah,
as
I'm-
well.
No. We have the big bear.
14.
For 2 natural 20s.
Ooh,
5.
Okay.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I think I made too much noise pulling someone near me.
Grizz and
14.
Lawrence. 14 for you, Lawrence. Okay. And Grizz with disadvantage. Oh.
Well, here you go.
All right.
Well, it notices all of you.
I'm going to push whoever's. Oh wait, what?
Oh, what are you going to do real quick before this?
I'm going to push whoever's closest to me away from me, just in case. I
Okay.
just have a bad feeling that it probably saw me.
So, yeah, it noticed all of you. In fact.
Sick.
Oh no.
Well, there goes trapping it.
And as it turns its face towards you, kind of this awful kind of death rattle noise comes out of it as it starts breathing. It's breathing in, and you can feel your kind of souls being pulled towards it almost.
Oh no. All right.
And it sounds
Guess we roll
like a
initiative.
hollow creature. And I'm gonna need you to each of you make a charisma saving throw.
Oh, charisma. Okay, hold on.
Well, shit, I'm screwed.
How do you do Oh, saving throw.
So just add your saving throw.
I'm fucked.
4.
4.
Oh no. All right.
Oh, I got an 18.
I rolled a 3.
Ah,
All right. Yikes. Okay. Who rolled an 18?
Me.
Okay, so you save. And Dylan and let's see who else.
I'm a ginger. I got most of them.
I rolled a 3 because we're taking off my
3.
-2 on my charisma.
Okay, so a 3, an 18, and a 12. So Dara, you save. Azura, you save. Ghost and Lawrence do not save and are frightened.
Oh, it makes sense that we're both dead. So.
Oh wait, no, I forgot. You get to add your D4 to your saving throw, right? For bless.
Yeah, everyone gets to add a D4.
Yeah, everybody had a D4 as well.
Well. All right.
So
Oh.
Ghost's still not gonna
I don't
save.
need you, I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh, don't re-roll.
What?
Oh, you only got a 1 to add to it?
Mhm.
Okay. So, yeah, so you still be... You said you got a 14? But you'd be 15? Yeah, you saved.
All right.
Okay. You're good now, and then Ghost still would not, unless you get really good,
Yeah.
obviously.
No, I.
So Ghost
no
is the
chance.
only one that is frightened, then.
Well, that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, you were up close watching it just
So
snap.
for conditions for frightened, a frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight, and you can't willingly move closer to the source of your fear.
All right, I'm going to get as far away. I'm not
Bye.
gonna run because I don't want to leave everyone, but I'm gonna move a little further away.
All right, and let's roll initiative.
Why are my rolls so good right now?
What'd you get,
God, my
Dylan?
rolls are
Another
shit.
20.
I've been
Jeez.
getting like above 20 almost every
Right.
roll.
Okay.
Initiative. Where's initiative? +2. I got a 22.
Dylan got a 22. Azura got a 23. Wendigo got a
I got
14.
7.
Okay, so Azura, you're gonna go first. If you're attacking.
I don't want to get close to it, so I'm gonna chuck a dagger.
Okay. And roll to AC. Hits. Nice roll.
Nice
I-
roll.
I-
Damn.
7 points of damage.
It doesn't look in any
And-
phased.
The
It-
dagger comes back, right?
We have that belt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so it sticks in that thing's eye and then comes right back, and it didn't even phase it.
Oh.
Well,
Oh no.
it was plugging its eye hole in, so it's got to be bleeding now.
Right, it is bleeding a little bit, but it didn't react to being stabbed in the face.
That's fantastic.
Oh.
All right. Oh fuck. Okay. Yeah.
So it would be Lawrence next.
How much of his body has armor on it?
Kind of its upper chest portion. It's kind of belly, and all the rest of it's pretty exposed.
Okay. I could use my rapier for piercing
Okay,
the armor.
sure thing. Go for it.
I really don't remember.
Roll your. So here, let me see just real quick. I'll take a look at your sheet. And then, so for your rapier, that's going to be +4 to attack, and then 1d8 +2 piercing. So roll a 20 and then plus 4. So 15 plus 4, so you got 19. That's hit. Definitely hit.
And then which one after that?
1d8, I think is what it said, right?
Yep. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Plus 2.
I got a 7.
7. Okay.
Plus 2, you said?
Yeah, plus 2.
So 9.
9. And you poke at it through its armor, and you go right through it. And you pull the rapier out, and didn't really look like it did a whole lot, but I mean, you went through the creature. You saw the rapier on the other side of it, but didn't react again.
Is it even taking damage, or?
Oh, it's taking damage.
It just
Okay,
had a
good.
lot.
I was about to say, if it's not taking damage.
So
we're
now
screwed.
it would be. So that was okay. So now it is with the Wendigo's turn. So it is going to attack you, Lawrence. And let's see. Oh wow. Okay, so it rolled a 4. I believe that doesn't hit.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Then it's going to be Dare's turn.
My turn. How close am I to it?
You're within 5 feet. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just hit it with my glaive.
Okay. That does not hit.
Okay.
Oof.
Done.
Okay, and now to you, Ghost. You're gonna have disadvantage on ability rolls and attack rolls.
Alright. I'm going to aim my crossbow and hope.
Oh my gosh. Remember to roll at disadvantage, though.
And that's what he doesn't void disadvantage.
Does it void disadvantage? What did you roll again? Perfect? Oh my gosh.
Look at it yourself.
Good lord. Okay, I'm looking at it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you hit. Sheesh. You overcame your fear, I guess. You do 16 damage. And the crossbow... Where were you aiming?
I'm aiming fucking right in the center of his fucking torso.
Okay.
Right in the pierced hole.
Yeah. So yeah, it stabs right through
I
him.
wish to crush this motherfucker's heart.
Stabs right through him, and he takes a step back.
Nice.
Oh my god, there goes all of my nat 20s for the rest of the campaign.
Yeah. Okay, so we're back to Lawrence, I believe. Or wait, no.
And just
Me,
for my
right?
final
Yeah,
action,
Azura.
I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
Azura.
move further.
You're gonna move further away. Okay, so Azura, actually,
Okay.
yes.
I'm gonna use my quarterstaff this time.
Okay.
I'm very much out of range.
I gotta. Yeah, I'm gonna smack it.
Bruh, the
With
double
that-
nat 20. What the hell?
And then, can I use a bonus action?
So you're gonna smack it with the quarterstaff, 22 to hit, obviously, and then a bonus action. What's your bonus action?
I'm gonna go with flurry. Let me read on this.
Flurry of blows.
Flurry blows. Yeah. So at 1 key point, to make 2 unarmed strikes.
Okay, so you're just gonna strike again. Do you have to roll to hit again, or
I don't know. It doesn't say.
let's see?
I'm assuming I
Flurry
would.
of
Yeah, because
blows.
bonus actions, flurry blow. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, roll to hit again.
That hits.
Yeah, that definitely hits. 24.
Nice. Oh my
And
god.
so would I roll 1d4 plus 3 twice now? Because it's
Yep.
2 unarmed strikes.
Mm-hmm.
4 and then 7.
Nice.
So
Okay, you've
Quite a bit of
beaten this thing back a bit. You just bop it. You just like smack him several times. Just bop, bop,
Just
bop, bop,
smack him
bop.
with my quarterstaff and
She's
then
fucking
punch him.
boxing him.
Okay.
Nice.
So it's gonna be Lawrence's turn.
Okay. I can use my great axe and try to go for its head or its neck.
Okay.
Try to cut off its head.
All right.
9, I think. So it doesn't hit.
Doesn't hit. Nope.
Yeah.
Let's see. That would be the Wendigo then. So it is going to attack Azura, and let's see. Let's see what it does here. So that is 14. Does a 14 hit?
Yeah, my AC is 14,
So yes. Okay. And let's have it do damage. Does 13 damage as it hits you with its claw and basically just slams you into the ground.
Oh. Ow.
Ugh.
I'm gonna. Oh.
Don't run away. You'll give it fucking opportunity.
I'm not gonna run away, but not like that. Nope.
And as a bonus action, it is going to make that terrible, awful rattling sound again, and I'm going to need you all to make charisma saving throws. Yeah, it's not going to affect you. You're definitely there already.
Charisma?
I'm already fucking terrified.
Charisma saving throw, yeah. You rolled. You
Apparently
saved.
I work well under pressure.
You saved, Azura. Dylan.
Oh, I don't know how I did. I'm terrified after that.
1. Dylan did not save. Okay, so you're both. Dare saved as well. So Dylan is now frightened as well.
Awesome.
Lawrence, I mean. So,
I don't remember.
attack rolls and ability checks you have disadvantage on.
Okay.
And now
Did
it
I
will
save?
be back
Yeah, you
to.
saved Dare.
Yeah, you did save. Let's see. It's going to be back to Dare now.
Mm.
Wow, it's really just not loading these initiative things.
Are we able to check its health or know what its health is?
No, not
Oh,
really.
okay.
I mean, you'll just be able to tell by outward, like how it looks.
How close am I to Max?
Probably within 5
Okay.
feet. You're all in kind of a tight little group.
I'm the only one that's kind of further back. I'm about maybe. So you guys are 5 feet closer to the monster. I'm about 10 feet away from the monster
Yes.
because I'm only going further away. I can't get any closer.
I'll reach over and give Max 8 points of healing.
Nice. Okay.
There's an action. And then that'll be my turn.
Did you already? Oh, your kid did already have that. Okay, cool. Perfect. And that's your only thing you're doing? Okay.
Yeah.
Should be back to Ghost then.
All right. I'm going to take another pot shot at it. Probably won't get any. All right, and then one more.
20. Nice.
All right, so we take the 20.
Nice. Yeah, that definitely hits.
Wait, come on, dice. All right,
3.
3 damage.
Okay. So
Compared to my other damage, that was.
it hits it, but it kind of glances off a little bit, I guess.
Mm.
And it's some of the bone armor's kind of fallen off, and it's got some scratches and wounds for sure. Okay. So now it's Azura
If I could
again.
get over this fear thing, could get closer with my short sword.
Yeah, it's Azura again, and you are on the ground.
I'm on the ground,
Yeah, you're prone at the moment.
even after getting healed.
Well, I suppose he would maybe pick you back up. That would make sense.
Okay. I'm going to take a step back and just move out of attack range.
All right.
So 10 feet back, probably right next to Ghost.
Okay.
And can I throw a dagger during that too?
If you're retreating, he'll get an attack of opportunity. But
If I'm...
Well, I suppose on your... no, I guess on your turn. Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, you can throw a dagger at the same time.
Damn, these rolls.
I can attack and get initiative.
And remember, you have to do it with disadvantage, though. That attack roll.
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, no, you saved. That's right. You're good. So 5 damage.
Oh, okay. So ignore the 11 then.
Mm-hmm. And it's comes back to you as well. Sticks in his head and then comes back.
Yeah.
It's a nice little boomerang you got there.
Yeah.
No, it's just
Makeshift boomerang.
dagger.
Homemade.
A daggerang.
Yeah.
Now I'm just
So now it'd
Chill by
be
Ghost.
whittling this guy's health.
now it'd be Lawrence.
So am I able to keep using my weapons, or do I need to start using ranged because I'm afraid?
You can keep using your weapons. You just can't willingly move closer. So I mean, you're already pretty close, so you could probably still hit.
I should be close enough,
Yeah.
to do my other stuff. Well,
You
I'm
can
gonna
still
try
do
with my great axe
slashers and
again.
shit.
Yeah.
13.
13 does not hit. Oh,
What do I
plus
need to add?
4.
Yeah.
17 hits.
Okay. So then this one.
Yeah. What is it for? Is it D10 or D12?
Great axe. It's 12.
Oh yeah, roll that one, and then add 2. I think was the bonus.
11 then.
11 plus what? Does it
Or
say on your?
9 plus 2.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I like how the only damage points that I've taken are from myself.
And yeah, you really chopped on it.
Nice.
All right, so then it would be the Wendigo's turn again. So it is going to go after, let's say, Dariesta. Let's see. Okay, does a 17 hit? Okay.
Really?
It
Wow.
just barely misses you, striking the ground next to you.
Glances off.
Mm-hmm. It's very close. All right. Then it
Yours
would
is the
be
tough guy
Grizz.
here.
Is it my turn or his turn?
Yes, it's your turn.
My turn, okay. Well, after he does that, I'm gonna turn, just slap him in the face with my sword.
Very good.
Good night.
The flat end of it, not the actual bladed part.
22 hit.
Yes, a 22 hits.
Damn, these rolls to hit are high.
Yeah,
Oh,
my
shit.
goodness.
Oh.
13. Okay. Alright, you swipe across him and you gash into him a pretty good amount. He's visibly bleeding now.
Good.
God.
It's not gonna turn.
Alright, Ghost.
I can only do crossbow spam, so I'm gonna fucking spam it.
Okay.
Alright. Come on, move. Let me.
And remember your disadvantage
Oh.
as well.
Yeah.
Did you say the
Alright,
creature
we'll take the
was-
12. Does the 12 hit?
12 does not hit.
Alright, I just shoot and a miss.
Swing and a miss.
You said the creature was like
I
partially
shoot at
blind,
this-
or?
Creature's
I
not
shoot
blind.
at the same
Oh,
time
okay.
that it like struck a Grizz. so
Yeah,
it
just
went
ducked.
right over its head.
Yeah, exactly. And as it strikes and as it's kind of getting back up, it says words in it's like just barely human. It says, "The only way that you can stop me now is if you put me in the ground." And it gets back up and looks pretty angry with all of you. And
Yeah,
Azura,
stage
it's
two,
your turn.
bitches.
quick perception to see if it has a hole.
How the fuck do we put it in the ground?
So Azura, that's you.
Could we lure it to the church?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's kind of way across the way. Like, you'd have to cross the docks.
Yeah.
We'd have to be dexterity saving rolls the whole way across.
Yeah.
Wait. Was there at the ruins, did we see a tunnel, like, at the church?
You didn't really...
Just based off of passive perception.
Based off of passive perception? Yeah, let's say you noticed a little bit of a trapdoor kind of in this small area there. With the same sort of type pillar at the front, but this one's
we
not.
kind of have to just strafe around him and hope we can turn him around. Alright.
I think he just meant kill him.
I don't think that's what he meant because of the tunnel. He may chill out at underground. Alright.
How injured does he look, by the way?
He looks fairly hurt. You've definitely kind of raked into him with all of your different types of damage, and he's got a few, maybe crossbows sticking out of him.
We could get Grizz to like try to push him back towards the trapdoor.
Yeah, you could do that.
One just right in the center of his heart.
Yeah. Just shoulder check him.
Yeah, you could.
I
Grizz, how's that sounding?
Big man.
still feel like it's just kill him.
I mean, yeah.
You push him?
I don't know if we can, though. That's the thing.
So let's say he's about 10 feet from that trapdoor, and you're kind of close there now.
How tall is he?
He's almost just about your height. He's just a little bit taller than you.
Oh yeah, you can totally shoulder check him.
My weight's half my weight. He's all bone.
Yeah, he does look less solid than you, for sure.
Like that. Well, no. It's just.
We could do a good old big old
Grizz
run
and
at
Azura
him.
aren't afraid, right?
What's that, Dylan?
Just Grizz and Azura aren't afraid, right?
Yes.
But Azura's
They're the
hurt.
only two.
Hmm.
Azura's doing better now.
Yeah,
So it's all on
I'm
Grizz.
slightly better. I don't want to get hit again, though.
You don't want to give the DM any ideas.
I want to stay back.
Okay. So Grizz, you gonna do that pushing? I suppose we should get your turn.
Could
Wait
I-
for your turn. So it'd be you,
Yeah,
Azura.
we should
I
probably
have
knock
a
him
question.
prone.
I have a question with my
Yep.
turn. Is there any way I could use shape water to push him back with
Oh,
both of
that's
that, or
good.
no?
Yeah, I would
There's
definitely
more
say
around.
that you could do that.
Okay, so I'm gonna try that then.
So remind me again how Shape of Water works. So you basically just spawn water in. You get your Minecraft bucket out and just like.
Let me go to spell. Stay there.
Probably any nearby source of water.
Shape of Water.
I can cast create or destroy water one per longest. So could
Okay.
I create water and kind of chuck it at him to push him back with the force of it?
Sure. Let's have him. Interesting.
Wait, whose turn is it right now?
It's Azura's.
Oh, okay, cool. Never
So
mind.
I'll have him. Okay. I'll have him make a dexterity saving throw. Yeah, it seems like the way. Okay. Yeah, he gets pushed back by this 5x5 cube of water, is what it is, I think.
Yeah, 5.
And yeah, pushes him quite a bit, and he's resting kind of near the trapdoor, and he is prone at the moment.
Is the trapdoor open or closed at the moment?
It's closed.
Who in our group has
Okay.
a lot of dexterity that can run and open it real quick?
Don't know. It is your turn though.
Well, I actually can't get closer to him, so I'll just have to hit him with a crossbow then. So,
Wait,
and I do not hit him.
Okay.
I
Could
can't
I-
get any closer
wait.
since I'm frightened.
Same.
Oh, I don't want to get close to him though. Well, he's down, right?
Yeah, he's
fine.
down now.
But
So,
it's,
could I
Grizz
spend
turn.
another one of my 2 key points? Would my dash how does dash work? Because that's a bonus action I could do. Could I use that to get it open?
Let's see, dash.
Yeah, step of the wind. You can spend 1 key point to take the disengage or dash action as a bonus action.
Oh yeah,
Your
sure.
jump distance
You can
is
do
doubled
that.
for the turn.
So yeah, you can get to him, I think. And so you have
Okay,
2 points per short rest.
Yeah, and
So-
I've used one already for the.
Okay, so that'll be your
flurry.
last key point. Okay.
So can I jump forward and get the
Slam
trapdoor
him?
open?
Oh, get the trapdoor open? Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, you do that, and it's
Okay,
very
I'm
very
hoping.
quick.
Lawrence, I'm hoping you get him in there because I do not want to be near this guy.
I can. It'd have to be Grizz. I can't get closer to him.
Oh shit.
Okay, what are you gonna do, Lawrence? Oh yeah, you already fired your crossbow. I forgot.
Yeah, and I missed.
Okay.
I got a 2.
It's the Wendigo's turn, so it
Yeah.
stands up as its action. That's all it can do.
That's all it does.
Mhm.
Okay, good. I don't.
All right, Dare,
Right there, tackle it.
go football.
Give him a big bear hug.
Okay, what do I roll?
Let's have you roll a strength check.
I think it's a grapple probably.
Roll strength contested by the target strength. Yeah, okay. So we
Pretty-
will see.
Roll strength with advantage since it just got up.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Oh, yeah. I'm so nervous about my character being near him.
Okay. Oh gosh. So what'd you get?
With advantage it was 12.
Okay. Yeah, you successfully push it into this hole.
What did it get?
Yes.
An 8. Yeah.
Like my kind of roll.
You push it into the hole and it falls, and you can hear it kind of screaming all the way down. And it's not a very deep tunnel, but it fell, so it's about 5 feet deep.
Anybody have some dynamite?
And
would
I
say
guess
it's like much more than that. If-
you're pretty much out of combat at the moment since it can't
All
try to attack you, and you can't really see it anymore. It's kind of dark in
Are
there.
there any large objects that are on the ground that I can move on top of the trapdoor?
Or are there any explosives?
Or explosives?
There are no explosives,
can-
so I'll have you roll perception.
There
Though.
is to just sit on it for a minute.
Yeah.
How deep is the hole?
Just sit on the
About-
trapdoor.
About 4 to 5 feet. You rolled an 18 perception.
19.
Oh, 19. Sorry.
Cannonball.
So
Cannonball, do it.
you notice the pillar in front of the trapdoor, and you notice a marking on it that looks like a feather, and it looks like you maybe could move it in front of the trapdoor.
Alright, I'm going to ask the big man.
Or you could
Here,
drop
help
it.
Me, help me move this on top of the trapdoor.
Yeah,
So,
you're doing
just,
most of it.
Oh. Yeah, you can't move it. And you can't really move it either. Okay.
Wait, so we're out of
Can we-
combat, right?
Oh, you help it together? Okay, I see.
Yeah,
Oh.
so it's...
So you manage
Fine,
to move it a little bit over the trapdoor, and it's closed, and you've locked it in there. And shortly thereafter, you hear a thump as it just slams into the top of it, and the pillar moves a little.
Can I help try to push it over too, since I'm not scared at the moment?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And yeah, let's say your frightened condition is worn off for everybody,
Okay, the 20, right?
and that your strength.
Alright, so I got a 7.
Yeah, y'all push that thing over. You're holding it down,
It'll look better.
and you are fighting to keep it shut.
Where? Can you scroll up on the map?
Uh-huh.
I just want to see what's here at the moment.
I'm guessing the Wendigo also has to make a strength check to push it open.
Up towards the tower.
Oh my! Wait. So are we all helping hold it down? Should I do strength check as well?
You guys are over here,
I'm
though.
right next.
I know.
Okay.
Can I just sit on it?
Yeah, you can sit on it.
Just sit on top of the pillar.
Let's see. I'm gonna... Okay.
Alright, DM, what can the monster do?
I'm trying to think. Okay, let's do this.
Is it?
Probably will have to
Okay.
I weigh 472 pounds.
Okay, I think it's stuck in there. You hear the wood start to splinter underneath you, but it's stuck in there for the time being.
Wait, what happens if the trapdoor breaks and he and the pillar
It's
fall?
just gonna
Yeah, I was
reach
gonna
out
say,
and
is the
push
pillar
him.
like?
What's that?
Well, no, they all just
How is
fell
the
on.
pillar sitting on top of the trapdoor?
It's just a flat trapdoor, so.
I mean, like, if the trapdoor broke, could the pillar fall?
Yeah, the pillar could definitely fall in the hole.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna have another
I'm
strength
going-
check by the creature. Okay. And it really is starting to break that trapdoor. It is falling apart.
Alright.
Okay, what if we all
Dariesta.
get ready as soon as he comes back
Yeah.
up? We all attack him at the same time.
Yeah, we can give an attack of opportunity
Okay.
because he's poking out.
All right.
So, Darius is sitting on it right now?
Mm-hmm. And the pillar's on it as well.
I think
If
he's
he
moving now.
Was to, like... Is there any way he could get the pillar to break through it?
Yeah, maybe just push down.
We could just
You wanna
bring
push
the
it
trapdoor
down,
the rest
Drea?
of the way so that the stuff falls on it.
I think we should just wait for it to come up, and then we can just all attack it at the same time.
We could break the trapdoor and let the pillar fall on him.
Yeah, that's what I want to see, because it's probably kind of heavy. And then we could attack.
Or we could have
Well,
Bear
he's
sitting on it too in a ball.
stunned
have
by
him
that.
fall.
Well,
All right, what are y'all
I'm
doing?
going to ready my short sword.
Okay.
I'm getting my axe.
All right.
Yeah.
I got my quarterstaff.
It's chopping and bonking time.
I would have my trident right now, but we left Windborn too damn early.
They'll have it ready for you when you get back, for sure. Grizz, you're going to push that pillar through? So, you push this pillar through the trapdoor right as this thing's kind of jumping up to attack it again, and it hits it on the head.
Bonk. The generic hammer sound from any cartoon ever.
And it hits it. Let's roll some random damage.
Probably be high
All right.
damage because it's a stone fucking pillar.
All right. And it hits that thing on the head and it falls back onto the ground. And it's prone at the moment at the bottom of the tunnel. With a pillar stuck on its chest.
Could I chuck a dagger down in the
Yep,
tunnel?
you could do that with
Yeah,
advantage.
I'm just gonna shoot a crossbow down as well.
Oh god.
Yeah, I'll do that too, actually, with the crossbow.
You get to roll with
Because-
advantage, but a 15 does not hit. Oh, dagger by Derry hits, yes.
14
Lord.
doesn't hit, I'm guessing.
No.
With advantage, though, right?
I rolled advantage already.
Okay, so
Alright,
yeah,
24.
24 hits, damage of 7.
And then
Well, I mean,
5.
wait. Okay, yeah, never mind.
Okay.
I would think the armor class would have to be lowered because he's prone and underneath a heavy object.
Alright, and then...
He's not gonna move.
No, he's not gonna move for sure. And then let's see the game log here. Who else did damage? So 7, and then a 5.
Can I take another shot?
Yeah.
And Lawrence, did you hit?
No.
Even with advantage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even with.
Yeah, everyone else can take hits as well. And just for the sake of speed, let's assume that you all just deal as much damage as is humanly possible to this creature at the bottom of the tunnel. And by the time you're done, it's a pile of blood and guts, basically. I don't know if you went that
It's
far.
dead.
I don't know. How far did you guys go? How much did you
I
try
mean,
to
we
kill
should
this
probably
thing?
keep the head intact.
I want the head. I want to
Yeah.
sell the head. Or hang it up. I want it.
I want to trade it.
But yeah, this thing
want
is very, very much dead, and with that, its body starts to kind of dissolve a little bit. It's going
No.
slowly, but it's going.
I want the head. No.
I hope you climb down to get it.
Can I get a
fucking will.
tooth?
Okay, so you guys go down there, and as you touch the body, it stops dissolving.
Okay, cool.
Alright, can I take the
I'm going to
Beheaded.
take a good old
Yeah.
chop with the short sword.
Okay. Yep. Still dead.
Like, well, no,
Still
like
dead.
clean through the cut it off of the neck.
Okay. Yeah. Y'all both chop off the head, I guess. it's off
like
of there.
we acted like scissors.
Oh God.
You take it from the left, I'll take it from the right.
If there's any bone armor, just
All
cash.
right.
Yeah, and the
Did
bone
it-
armor's pretty much fallen apart. Yes, still.
Okay, it doesn't have anything else of value on it.
The only thing that you notice is as kind of it dies, kind of this black smoke exits its mouth. What goes up into the sky.
I have a question though. Did it eat the elf entirely, or is it still have a corpse somewhere?
There's kind of a mangled corpse of elf up above, yeah.
Can I wander and go like loot that?
Yeah,
Alright.
I guess.
Well, Max is probably carrying the Wendigo head. I'm gonna go bury the elf.
Well, I'm looting it first.
Okay, well,
You're doing what now?
I'm looting the elf.
Oh, you're looting it? Okay. I mean,
so,
rude, but alright.
on this elf, he had 10 gold pieces, and he had some shoelaces in his pocket, and he had a photo of a tiny elf girl, like a child,
Aw.
and
Kid.
he also had a wand.
A wand.
Alright.
I'll leave all of it except the wand.
Am I aware of the picture? Like, did I
is there
see
any,
see the picture?
like,
Are you gonna show her then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
here
you
goes
show
check
everybody
this
this.
large?
Okay, that's sad.
Show the child mangled father. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
That's
but-
awful.
Fucking terrible.
You should.
I mean, I would probably bring the body to the mother
Mm-hmm.
or to the widow.
Yep.
But-
And also, Grizz, while you're still down in the hole, you notice at the top of the pillar, more striking now, is that feather symbol you see at the top. And it's the symbol from your past. You know, the one you made.
I just realized that.
And you all climb out of the hole, and you bring the body into town, into this widow's place.
Well, we wrapped it up. Of
Yeah, you
course.
wrapped it up,
Yeah.
of course.
We wouldn't want to, carry a
Can I-
bleeding body.
You were
Can I
tactful
stay
about
around
it.
and just do like a really good investigation check of the whole area?
Yeah, so it's basically ruins of a castle, and the tunnel appears to lead into the ground, and you can't see where it ends, really. It's just a tunnel going straight.
Probably leads to the church.
That would be a reasonable
we should
conclusion to
probably
draw,
investigate
yes.
this tunnel later.
Yeah, later.
And
Yeah.
you go back to Miles, and he's very pleased that you actually killed the legendary creature. He's like, oh, wow, okay. And,
Hey, can I get a tooth at that Wendigo before we sell the?
yes, you can have Tooth of Wendigo.
Tooth of Wendigo.
I want a tooth as well before we sell
I
the
would
head.
like
Okay.
a tooth.
You can also...
We all take a tooth.
Everybody
Yeah,
gets a
'cause
tooth.
I want to trade, although I would need. I'm gonna draw up a picture of the Wendigo in
Okay.
my notebook, and
Cool.
just so I can take the tooth to the black market and trade it for something.
All right.
Yeah, I left the head in my lighthouse, like
Oh, gosh.
in the archives.
Hope no one finds
I mean,
that.
that'd be worth it.
Did you
Alright.
cast some magic on it so it doesn't deteriorate?
Yeah,
This.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Like-
you experiment with it a little bit, and you end up having to cast some sort of kind of non-decaying spell, or life
Preservation
spell,
magic.
preservation magic. Yeah.
Fair
And,
enough, pick it up.
You guys go to Miles, and he gives you each 50 gold pieces.
And we celebrate at the local tavern.
50 gold after that shit?
I mean, we also got the Wendigo's head, so we can do with that what we will.
I mean, you can talk to him about how unfair it is if you want, but
I'm going to 50
barter the
gold,
reward.
sir.
I think that's pretty fair. I mean,
Oh, wait,
we,
no.
we almost died.
that's not really my business. I'm sorry. I could get you 70 maybe.
I'll take it. I don't know about the others, but I'll
Alright.
take it.
70 it is. And that's going to be it for this session.